Hello, my name is Alun, and tonight in my time, I'm facilitating a one-shot of my own game, The Cluster, a PbtA game of space opera, I guess you would say. Um, Check it out on itch. Um, this is being run as part of Shared Hearth. Now, Shared Hearth is the approximately seasonal weekend of play that those of us on the Open Hearth gaming community put on to encourage people to come and enjoy games, to sample our table culture, which we think is quite good, and maybe to try playing online if that's an environment that they're not yet familiar with, because the great advantage that it brings us as a community is the capacity to play with people around the world. And indeed, I think we are spanning the Americas across into Europe today. So as I say, my name's Alun, pronouns are he, him, and I'm facilitating this session. We will be playing with a set of safety rules, safety tools. For those players and those watching who maybe aren't familiar with those, we're going to be playing with what are called lines and veils. Lines are those things which won't appear in the fiction that we create together. And I put some of mine in. Sexual assault and violence. I don't want to be part of a game where that's on the table. And I noticed the players have begun to put some of their own stuff in. A veil is something that could appear in the fiction, but we will draw a discrete veil across it. Now, because I'm old and British, clearly any explicit sexuality is going to be behind the curtain. So that's what a veil is. Yeah. So stuff may happen, but we will draw a veil. I've also put two additional columns in that for the players to look at. One is to ask first, because sometimes people say, well, I don't know, it depends. So, if someone's ticked an ask first, those are the things that we're going to say. Looks like it's going in this direction. Is that all right? And some have been ticked in the interested. Now, I'm struck by the interested. Violent confrontation, classism, stalking, cults, crashing in an elevator or plane, trapped in an elevator or plane, heist, different planets, infection, plague is a major point, and violent conflict between PCs. That's quite a tall order for a one shot. but we will do what we can to those of you. We'll just keep an eye on those if you see the opportunity. Certainly, I would hope for different planets. Beyond that, depends which way you take the play, folks. And then we're also playing with something called the X card. Because lines and veils are helpful in just sketching out our boundaries, sometimes stuff comes up that you weren't expecting. And the X card is there to say, whoa, hang on. Either, make the signal so I see it, or put it in the chat and hope I see it. And if that is for anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. For whatever reason, I've had someone X card on the name of an NPC, a non-player character, because I named a character and it was a relative. And when the character started doing slightly dodgy things, they said, could we change the name of that character? It's fine. Stuff comes up. The other thing I want to say about the X card, which is important, is that sometimes something comes up and you think, oh, yeah, I'm probably all right with that. And we play on. And then it comes up again and you think, just because you didn't play the X card the first time it came up does not mean that you shouldn't play it the second time it comes up if it makes you uncomfortable, right? There is no use it or lose it. Anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, X card, we'll pause. I might ask you, how far back in the fiction you want me to go to play around it or whatever, but we will avoid that. I suppose the other thing to say about the X card is that sometimes people play the X card, and this is fine, if they think we're going in a direction where they fear they might get a bit uncomfortable. So, again, that's a good way of just putting a pause in the play and saying, I'm just worried we're heading in this direction. And sometimes it's a helpful reminder to me if somebody thinks we're drifting towards one of our lines, for instance. We're also playing with an open door. So if this turns out not to be the kind of game that you thought it was going to be and you're not having a good time, for goodness sake, don't waste the next 4 hours or 3.5 hours that we have left. This is supposed to be fun. There is nothing chaining you to the screen. And equally, the open door is there. If the doorbell goes, if something happens in the real world behind you, for goodness sake, go deal with it. Nice to know if you're coming back. or if you can't come back, and we'll endeavour to play you back in when you reappear on the screen. But again, real life continues to go on behind us while our focus is on the play. What else do I want to say? We'll do a bit of a debrief at the end if there's a bit of time, just to get a feed, just to kind of come down from play, because sometimes that's helpful. And we are also playing within the Open Hearth community's code of conduct, which I sometimes summarize as "don't be a dick," and I'm sure that won't be a problem. So that is our game. Let me ask the players in the order I can see them on my screen to just say hello, tell us your name and pronouns, and maybe consider, have you named your character? Is there anything you want to say about your character yet? Or we can do that as they emerge in play. So, Teist, over to you.
Yep. Hi, Teast, he, they. I'm playing Mel, she, her, who is a mercenary who has clawed their way up from the depths of poverty to be the sort of drill sergeant kind of character.
Okay, we're looking forward to seeing them. Eric.
So yeah, I'm Eric, he, him, and I'm playing Hawthorne, who's also he, him, and is from a utopian society that he wants no part of, and so is a smuggler. So, but he's still a pacifist. That's sort of ingrained in him. So that's about the only thing that really worked on him.
Okay. Um, Paul, what about you? Say hello, tell us your pronouns, and tell us anything you want to about the character so far.
I'm Paul Normandin. I go by he, him. This is Dr. Jay Banner. In real life, Dr. Jay Banner, he, him, is a eminent professor at the University of Texas. He's a friend of mine. We play Ultimate together. And I thought, this is going to be fun, and I hope he sees this someday. The character I know well. I've known him for about 25 years. I'm going to try to play him today.
Okay, I'm interested to see how his real life is going to play into your sequestered background. We'll explore that shortly. And finally, Brad, say hello, tell us about your pronouns and anything you want to tell us about Cage.
Yeah, hi, Brad Young, and from Oakland, California. Pronouns are he, him, and my character Cage. He is a spacer and an engineer, and kind of a scoundrelly engineer. But he has lived most of his life in space, and kind of living on the edge. Doesn't particularly care much for gravity, so being on planet is not really his thing so much. He'll do it, but rather reluctantly.
That's great. Now, in the game as written, we would now create our cluster, but that takes a bit of time, so we're using a pre-gen that I knocked up. So what we have so far then is a spacer called Cage, and you may want to refer to the cluster tab, folks. So Cage is a spacer. The system he comes from is called the Iron Wreath, and the homeworld is Station 5. Then we have a dedicated, whose name is, I've already forgotten, forgive me.
Hawthorne.
Hawthorne, thank you. Hawthorne comes from the system, the Splintered Reach, and the homeworld is Koth. Then we don't have an authoritarian, so NA goes in there. We don't have, oops, Daisy. We don't have that authoritarian. Okay. We've got Mel from a poor world. The system is called Rubble, and the homeworld is Rubble 3. And you'll see a pen picture in the table beneath that of your location. And finally, Dr. J. Banner, from the sequestered society of System Vex. Homeworld and habitat is strange. And you will see that underneath each of those on row 789 is something about the setting that you come from. But it might be worth just looking down at the system composition, the local technology base, and the socioeconomic framing. This is where you grew up. Yeah, it may be decades since you were there, but this is where you grew up. So, for instance, Dr. Banner comes from the system of Vex, which has one survivable world and several hostile ones. The level of local technology is fire and steel. It is primitive. No wonder he needed to get out, because that doctorate in smelting was not going to get him far. In terms of its socioeconomic framing, it's broadly sustainable, enough to go around, but that doesn't mean it's evenly spread. Mel, our poor mercenary, is from a world, well, a system that is basically a belt of asteroids and other rocks. And any worlds that exist in that system are described as demon-like, which means they are anathema to human life. However, technology is quite decent. Fission, digital computers, main world satellites and orbital habitats. So, you know, there is technology around that asteroid belt. There are, though, numerous needs, mean barely enough to go around, and there's widespread inequality and exploitation at home. Maybe that's why you got out. Then we have, sorry, I can get rid of that as well. Excuse me. There we go. Then we have Hawthorne. Splintered Wreath is one hostile world and several demon worlds. How very attractive. Those hostile worlds are survivable barely. However, technology, fission, digital computer control, satellites, inner system exploration. So there is a spacefaring society there. They haven't got far, but they are able to leave. And finally, Cage from Iron Wreath, the spacer. The reason I think this society is spacer based is that there are no survivable habitats. There isn't even a set of rocks. There are several demon worlds, gas giants, molten planets, you know, really unpleasant places. Fusion expert systems, widespread digital communications, extensive exploitation of the inner outer system, driven by the fact we don't have a planet. We have to find ways of harvesting resources from the planets that we do have. Again, barely enough to go around, but relies on key imports, considerable inequality in that society. So that's our pen picture for these locations, yeah? I do now want to go back to ask each of you the questions about this environment. So let me start with Hawthorne. A dedicated society dedicated to some generation-spanning project. Is that project social, scientific, technological, or some other kind of endeavor?
I was thinking social, because again, it's sort of a utopian effort. Now, the fact that it's in, you know, a very hostile world and all that stuff is probably why they were able to kind of carve it out for themselves. Not a lot of competition, but yes, that's at least how it started. I imagine it's gotten, you know, that dream has become kind of corrupted, but yes, that was the point. A place without war, conflict, and where all needs are met.
At least that is the objective at the end
Yeah,
of the plan. Social
exactly.
history will generate a foundation that is worth keeping. Fine.
Yep.
What about Mel, Rubble? Why is everyone crammed into, what are they crammed into? Hive City, bunker, environmental dome, somewhere else. Where would we find this society?
Yeah, so the system itself has lots of asteroids. It's not just like a single little ring of asteroids. It's like they're all over the place and they're flying everywhere. And we've built our cities in the best sort of Goldilocks zone that we can for what is a city sitting on an asteroid. But we have to be crammed into these bunkers because the asteroids are just zipping around all the time, and the chance that a micrometeorite or a larger one or whatever gets through our defenses, like it just it's a daily occurrence, and so we have to keep our surface area as small as we possibly can, so that we don't get pummeled by all these other asteroids.
I put a sentence in. If that seems to work for you, fine. If not, by all means, edit it. Likewise, Eric, if if what I've written for Hawthorne doesn't make sense. Let me come next to Cage. Do most people live in orbitals, deep space stations, or habitats, or ships, or somewhere else in the system? How are you envisaging this?
I'm envisioning most people living in orbitals, orbitals that orbit various planets in this system. But on these orbitals, there are like suborbitals. There are like little communities. So like the main orbital would be like the big city, and then the suborbitals would be more like smaller towns.
I like that. Oh, except I put that in the wrong place. That was poor. Yep. Yeah, that was a really good phrase as well. So orbitals around demon worlds with suborbital clusters around them. ...
Like it or not, they have to do business and get things from demon worlds.
Yeah, exactly. I can't spell, but I can write. There we go. Okay, so orbitals around demon worlds with suborbital clusters around them. Great. And last but not least, Dr. Banner. Do the elders who rule Strange and seek to keep your society isolated from the rest of the cluster, do they fear outside contamination, or do they say your people and or world are special?
The people are still afraid, but our leader, the great and powerful Duke Bob, knows that we are special, validates that we are special, and sent me with the intention.
Oh well, don't tell me how you left yet. Oh. We have questions to ask.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Questions to ask. So people are afraid, but the Duke.
The elders are progressive. Yeah, for sure.
Fine, that's okay. Right. Okay. Can we go back to the crew? Because I just want to explore that a bit to find out why you left. All the way down on row 68, your story so far. It says, 74. What is your culture society like? You've given me answers to the first question about the core, but then there's a subsidiary question on 77. Let me start with Hawthorne this time. Hawthorne, it says, you left after an unforgivable failure with a significant human cost. What did you do? Who suffered? How did that leave you with no option but to leave?
So I think this is probably my smuggling sort of uh basically like the bill was due, in terms of he thought it was completely, he could do it in a completely non-violent way that would actually wouldn't was sort of victimless. And ultimately I think he got his partner killed, meaning that they were working with, parties outside of the our society. And yeah, when someone had to pay for a screw up, it wound up being his partner. And I think probably Hawthorne maybe threw his partner under the bus. So
well,
is very sort of upset about that still.
Fine. You will find underneath that a little section called entanglement, and there's a drop-down list. Which of that drop-down list is going to suit you best in terms of the thing that still kind of follows you around? Don't tell me now. I'll come back to you once you've had a chance to think about it and any detail.
Got it.
Let's move on to Mel. Mel, it says, you left when the things you did to keep those close to you fed, healthy and alive took their toll. What did you do? Who suffered as a result?
Yeah, so I think it's fairly lawless in these areas. Like, the law is essentially the sort of mob family that runs this particular asteroid. kind of thing. And as someone who is good with her fists, Mel was, did a lot of that kind of work, right? And I think that she was pulled in to take payment from a fairly recent family, and of course they couldn't pay up, and so she was required to beat the crap out of them, and her sister, she was reminded of her sister by one of the children in this family, and after doing that was like, I can't do this, I have to find another way to support my family.
Okay, well, again, have a look at that drop-down list under entanglement to see what after effects that has had. Let's move along to Dr. Banner. Dr. Banner, you left after the elders made a terrible demand of you. What did they ask? Who suffered? Why were you left sickened and disillusioned?
They wanted to terraform part of the planet, and they wanted me to do that. And that would have cost the lives of hundreds of thousands. And I refused. I think there's a better way, and we're going to find it.
Fine. Given the level of technology, terraform might be grand. Maybe
Sure.
this was as simple as damming and flooding someone somewhere. Yeah?
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. So
It was Duke Bob's home village too. They wanted to make a point of it. Yeah.
So, and you may want then to select an entanglement that relates to the fallout from that. Yeah. And finally, Cage. You left after the void took a friend you could have, should have saved. Who, what happened? How did you fail them when it mattered?
This was an apprentice, a young apprentice of mine, a young engineering apprentice, and we had a falling out. So we were kind of on the outs, but there was still a love there, a friendship there, but we just couldn't see eye to eye, and I just kind of let him fall in with some bad players, and something happened, and I'm wanting to find out, but I also did nothing to stop it. I knew something was going on, and I did nothing to stop it. So there's an element of guilt around this.
Brilliant. And therefore, have a look at whether there's an entanglement that you think would fit with that. Yeah. And then you can add any detail you'd like to. So these are our characters. This is their backstory. That is behind you. Yeah. You've all left those environments, those societies. You've carried some baggage away from there that you're describing in the entanglement. And you have come together as the crew of a ship. And therefore, I want to just check out the ship tab. Way down the bottom of your character, on row 90 odd, it says ship design. And what I want to do is I'm going to run through each of you in turn and ask you what that says, because I'm about to update the ship to that effect. So, Teist, what does it say for Mel?
Split 3 between the weapons and structure ratings.
So 2 in one, 1 in the other? 2 in weapons, 1 in structure, or 1 in weapons, 2 in structure?
I think she's a 2 in weapons, 1 in structure
kind of gal. Okay. And 1 in structure. Okay. What else does it say down there? Because it should say 2 things.
Yeah. Allocate a total of 2 to any module ratings, though this cannot leave any rating above 2.
Okay. I'm going to come back to you for that one, because we'll put the ones that are defined in first. Okay. Brad, what does it say down at the bottom of there for cage?
For ship design,
Yeah.
add +1 to both the drive and computer ratings.
Okay.
And then it says add +1 to the bolt holes rating.
Okay. So sorry, so that was computers and drive. Yeah.
Drive and computer settings.
Yeah.
+1 to
And
both.
bolt holes.
Bolt
I know they're
holes,
here somewhere.
+1.
One in there. Okay. Um, what about Hawthorne, Eric? What does it say for him?
So it says add +1 to both controls and sensors.
There and there. Okay.
And then, like with Mel, it says allocate total of 2 to any module ratings.
Come back
So
to
it can't-
those.
Yep.
Paul, what does it say for the doctor?
Add 1 to both the drive and computer ratings, and add 1. Am I reading the wrong one? I am reading the wrong one.
I wondered if you were.
So sorry. There we go. Add 1 to either the med bay, which it is, and add 1 to the security rating.
Okay, so add 1 to med bay and 1 to security. Now, if you then go and have a look at the ship and wealth tab, you will see that I've put that in. So you have a number of systems, of modules, computer control, sensors, weapons, all the way down. This is what you'll be rolling with for those moves. Yeah. But 2 of you have got some free spends. So Mel and Hawthorne, Teast and Eric, where do you want to put your spends? You know, there are some of these that are still on 0. Cargo bay, EVA, hospitality, ship's locker, shuttle are all on 0 so far. Or do you want to put more points where you've already got them? What do you think, Teast?
So I think not into bolt holes. I think I'm going to go for 1 extra for structure. So, you know, a bit of defense against those micrometeorites.
Okay.
But also 1 into shuttle, because
you never know, do you?
You never know, and you know, when you're in the asteroids or spacer or whatever, you know, you've got to get around, don't you?
Okay. Eric, what about Hawthorne? Where has Hawthorne invested his shares so far?
I think bolt holes. And for cargo bay, is that just making it bigger?
It's giving it a little bit more structural security.
Okay.
If the cargo bay is at risk of damage, add cargo bay to structure when rolling to resist damage.
Got it. Okay. Then I think maybe add 1 to EVA.
Okay. Okay, there's nothing like having access to a magnetic grapple when you need to get to some other structure,
Exactly.
rather than just leaping at it. So fine. So this is our ship. The most difficult decision you have to make tonight is what you're going to call the ship. You know, and we could happily spend the next 2 hours working on a name for the ship. So I'm going to put a limit on the time. Each of you gets to make 1 suggestion if you want to make it. Or you can say, oh, I like that when I go with that. So let me start with Paul. What do you want to call the ship?
Cephid. It is a shimmering light in the night.
I will need you to spell it, but I'll go with that. What about that? Brad, Cephid, or something else?
I was thinking more like just like a woman's name, Rachel.
The Rachel. Teast, what are you thinking? High concept or name?
Yeah, the Wren.
The
W-R-E-N. The Wren.
Is that
Okay.
W-R-E-N?
W-R-E-N. What about you, Eric? What do you think Hawthorne would want to call this ship?
Aurora.
Aurora.
Mm.
Well, I mean that glows in the night, so there might be a bit of overlap with Cephid. So we've got Aurora in play. We've got a straightforward forward name, or we've got Wren. Anyone want to withdraw in favor of Aurora, which is currently I'm counting as 2? Okay, so that's 3 for, unless you object significantly now, Brad, the ship is going to be called the Aurora. Okay. Brilliant.
Aurora Mills colony being a very famous utopian society for Hawthorne. So
Fine, fine. So this is our starting setup then. Um, I will ask I will ask Eric Hawthorne, which of the systems do we first find the Aurora in?
hmm. That's a good question. I feel like maybe the highest tech one, which is
Hub.
yeah, I think that might be actually Iron Wreath. Iron Wreath is kind of cool. Yeah, no, I think maybe the hub.
Hub, fine. So you are in or passing through the center, the most advanced, what passes for the level of government, the home of the Ringgate Authority, which runs the Ringgates and is the closest that the cluster has to a government. Though it's fair to say its reach can sometimes not be terribly far. So, and then I think I need to ask, our grifter or our hustler, or even our scoundrel? Yeah, let me ask our scoundrel. Um, I'm curious what kind of job that you currently are embarked upon. Yeah. And that involves a move called finding a paying job. So, what I want you to do is to engage with a mechanic, Brad. You should find a link, folks, to a dice roller, an online dice roller in the safety and tabs. Yeah. And it should show some six-sided dice. Yeah.
Yep, below the line there.
Yeah, exactly. So and my suggestion would be that we use that same set of dice, because with the best will in the world, it will get pretty cluttered unless you've got an enormous amount of screen space. So Brad, what I want you to do currently, you should see 2 pale dice which show a 1 and a 6. Yeah.
Yep.
Click on them one at a time, and they should get a little box around them.
Yep.
Yeah. And then there you should see a green button above them that says reroll selected.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah. So hit reroll selected, and those 2 dice should roll. Yeah.
I've got a 1 out of 5.
Now, the way the mechanics in this game works, it's the same for everything. You add together the numbers, the 2 numbers, 5 and 1 is a 6, and usually you add something to it. And in this case, you add hospitality, because hospitality is about how you can engage with particular clients. Now, my recollection is that hospitality is not something you've necessarily prioritized. So you have very little to oil the wheels of business, Brad. The scoundrel in you is doing his best. But the fact is that that is 6-7. So on a 7 to 9, it becomes clear once the contract is signed that it's too late to back out, that the job is not entirely legal. So it will be worth some more, but you won't know that until you've signed the contract. What job did you go after, Brad? Was this a cargo run, a salvage job, a recovery or rescue job, or an investigative job?
This is a salvage job.
Salvage. Okay. So you've gone for a salvage job, which will be worth quite a bit of wealth. And because it's going to be slightly dodgy once you've signed up for it, it's going to be worth a bit more, which is great. I got one other question I need that all of you to agree on. Is it in the hub system, the home of government, or is it in one of the systems connected to hub? Are you going to have to go through a ring gate to get there? Any preference? I'm just curious about whether you're content to undertake an illegal job in the heart of government.
I'd say let's go through the ring gate.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, what's the point of having ring gates if you don't go through them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone definitely put a tick on. I want to go through to multiple
Different planets.
so-
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So, so there are some options here. Hub is connected. The ring gating hub is connected to splintered reach, Galliel's plantings, rubble, and Barlow. Barlow is an authoritarian society. Galliel's plantings is I've lost it, harsh society. What are you thinking?
I'm leaning towards Galliel's plantings. I just like the name.
Okay.
I can go
harsh
with
it
it.
is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see if you get there, shall we? We will kick off with someone beginning to set course. Now, anything you do with the ship is on the ship page, right? So there is a thing there called computer move plot a course. When you plot a course for an in-system destination, roll plus computer. So who do we think? Which of you do you think is best placed to pilot or navigate the Aurora?
Let's see.
I just want some idea of who's on the bridge, so to speak.
Yeah. There isn't a particular stat that
No,
is
there
good
isn't.
for that, right? Yeah.
All of you can do all of this. Just some
Okay.
of you may feel that your background would fit you for a so for instance, we've got an engineer about. They are likely to be down in engineering doing engineering-y things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who wants to be on the bridge? I'm sure that
I'll-
Dr. Banner's at the sensor console.
Yeah.
That's where I was going to say. Yep.
Yeah.
I think Hawthorne is on the bridge in some capacity.
Fine. And Mel, I guess, is up there as well, because
Yeah.
that's where the weapon system is
That is
operating
where the
from.
weapon systems are.
Leaving Cage, I think, down in engineering. Does that make
I
sense?
prefer to be down in the bowels of the ship.
Okay. Let's hope nobody blows out the bit in between. Let's have Hawthorne set course, shall we? So plot a course, roll 2 dice plus computer, which is 1.
Okay. So let's see.
You set course for the ring gate.
Yep. All right. Let's see if I did this right. Oh, whoops. I didn't take the dice off. So I think I got a 2 and a 6.
We'll take that
Okay.
one. So that's 8 plus 1 is 9.
Yeah.
On 7 to 9, either you arrive at the ring gate with no obstacles, no problem. Well, actually, with 1 damage due to wear and tear, but we'll come to that in a moment. Or you have a deep space encounter.
Hmm.
What would you prefer, Hawthorne? You roll the dice, you take the horrible responsibility.
He doesn't want to deal with that. So let's get to the place with the people. He's a people person. So.
Okay, I'm gonna roll 2 of these dice.
And there's no good people in deep space. So that's
Okay, so 2, 3 is the cargo bay has taken damage due to some wear and tear. Maybe somebody failed to strap something down and it got loose. Yeah. So what I've done is to delete. So it's now cargo bay is now potentially in a bit of difficulty, and the hull has taken some harm.
That's bad news, right? Because this is a salvage job.
It is a salvage job.
Yeah.
Time will tell whether that has an effect. But you arrive at the ring gate. And let me ask, Paul, Dr. Banner is on comms and sensors. And
Yes.
How does the ring gate work? Do you have to kind of contact the ring gate station and say, we're on our way to Galliel's planting, please tune the ring gate? Or
This ring gate, yes.
Yes.
Not all the rings, some of them are automated, and you have to have way better computer skills to be able to control them, right? But this one, definitely has personnel. We communicate with them. They set the gate for us as opposed to an auto gate.
Fine. So you enter the ring gate. Um, Rad, uh, Cage, the transition always has some effect. What does it feel like when you transition from real space to ring space? You know, is there any nausea involved? Is there disorientation? Is there a gravity bump? What?
Yeah, I would say it does create a sense of nausea and what's the word? Nausea and ennui.
Right.
It's just kind of nausea and ennui, and you just kind of not a depressive state necessarily, but it's just like a kind of like a dampening of
Oh,
everything,
love
kind of a
it.
dampening of your senses, almost kind of, I guess kind of a dampening of your ability to care.
Ooh, wow.
And so it's particularly dangerous for an engineer because you've got to care.
You have, yeah, let's keep this ship together. Okay. All trips through ring space take 2 weeks, irrespective, because these systems may be light years apart.
Mm.
They're connected by the ring gates. And what I'd like to do is take our first break, and we will emerge from the ring gate on our return. So it's 5 past. I'm going to suggest a decent break to start with. Let me think about where we're going. 10 minutes. I'll see you at quarter past the hour. Yeah, spot on.
Okay.
So, 2 weeks in ring space, and then you emerge. There's been that kind of heavy weight on your emotional shoulders during that 2 weeks, the same as it always is. And so emergence from the ring gate at Galliel's planting is something of a relief. I did get that wrong way around. Galliel's plantings is an authoritarian state, not a harsh one.
Oh,
So my apologies about that. But given that you're not going to go to the planet in the first instance, that's all good. So you emerge from the ring gate, and a conceit of the game is that the ring gate authority maintains a station in the vicinity of every ring gate, because it's how the ring gate authority maintains control over the cluster to an extent. And so they have a monopoly over fuel, recreation, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. So if you go to ship and wealth, can you see that currently you are what is in the trade called scraping by, right? You are keeping body and soul together, waiting for that big win. But you currently have all the boxes of desperate wealth filled and 3 of the 6 scraping by boxes filled. You are going to have to refuel and resupply here. So you dock at the Ringgate station and you resupply, which costs you 1 wealth, which I've now erased. Do you want to invest in repairs for that wear and tear? Or do you want to hang on to some, because wear and tear on the cargo bay, somebody didn't strap stuff down. It's going to cost you 2 wealth to get that put right.
I think you got to spend money to make money.
Okay.
Yeah.
the only thing is
the
it tips us
engineer.
into desperate, right?
Well, it does. But desperate and a ship that holds together, or scraping by and bits. So that's great. I do that. I restore the cargo bay, get rid of the damage to the hull. All is well. While they're doing that, we have a downtime opportunity. Now, downtime, there is a tab for downtime. When you exit a ring gate, each crew member resets their cred to the value determined by current wealth. Now, wealth when you left, when you came out of that ring gate, was still scraping by. So cred remains at 1, right? Each crew member recovers. Nothing's gone wrong with you yet, so nothing to recover. You spend on refueling, repairs, all of that. And then each crew member frames a scene. Now, you can either frame a flashback to a scene on the ship during the 2 weeks you spent together, maybe giving you opportunity to interact with one another or to do some stuff. And once we've dealt with any of those, we can then frame anything on the Ringgate station while the repairs and the refueling are going on. So you'll see, if you go for a flashback, it could be fixing an item of gear, but nothing's been damaged yet, so what's the problem? Sharing a moment of honesty with another crew member, working out what's going on, thinking about the world you're living in and who's doing what to whom, maybe trying to work out what's this contract is, what's under the surface of this contract, for instance, or working on a project. I wouldn't suggest project because, to be honest, a one shot. So, unless you want to share a moment of honesty with another crew member, or you want to try to think about the political setup in the cluster or what might be going on underneath this contract, I might suggest that in this downtime you focus on activity on the Ringgate. But is there anyone who wants a moment of honesty with another member of the crew? It matters more when bad things have started to happen to you, I'll be honest with you. Yeah? So shall we cut to the Ringgate in the first instance?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So there are 4 Ringgate moves. Check out the biz, cut loose, find a friendly face, put your ear to the ground. Yeah? So let me start with Mel. In this couple of days that refueling, resupply, and repair is going to take, do you check out the biz when you say where you go and what you do to discover how to get the best jobs? Well, you've got a job. Be honest. Do you cut loose when you say where you go in search of the more extreme forms of rest and relaxation? Do you seek to find a friendly face?
Yeah.
Or do you put your ear to the ground?
I think she's going to seek to find a friendly face.
Okay, when you say where you go and how you find common ground with your potential friend, roll plus cred. So where do you look for this friendly face? What, because this might tell us something about who they might be.
Yeah. So this is this is someone that Mel knows. I'm going to call him Chris.
Well, don't make the assumption that you know them, because
okay.
You may not come across
I see what you're
somebody.
saying. Yeah. Mel is going to go and see if she can find anyone from I've already forgotten, of course. What do we call the rubble? Anyone from rubble. Because she believes that that most people who have escaped rubble and are in other systems, they are canny, right? And they have their ear to the ground and they would know stuff. So
okay. So where in the station? Now you can think of the Ringgate station as everything from Vegas downwards.
Downwards.
So is this far below decks? Where are you going to find? Where do you think you're going to find this person?
Yeah, this is far below decks, where it's hot because there's not enough venting, and the air is stifling because it's all a bit old and not recycled well, and very cramped, small spaces. I'm imagining maybe like right near where the life support stuff is, and
that hum of machinery in the belly
exactly.
of the beast. Yeah, I get that. Okay, so roll plus cred, which is 1.
Which is 1. Yeah.
So click. Highlight the 2 dice.
Oh, click.
Reroll.
Oh wow, that I've.
Okay.
That's all right. 8 plus cred 1, 9. It's all right.
9. So on a 7 to 9, the cost of your success. You do find someone from rubble. Do you want to give them a name?
Chris.
Chris. And what's their role on the station?
They are a sanitation engineer.
Of course they are.
Of course they are.
Brilliant. So Chris, the sanitation engineer, and you find them probably in some, somewhere where they serve hooch that maybe the sanitation department doesn't notice going missing from recycling. I don't know. Who knows what they're using to make that hooch? So yeah, fine. And you will have advantage when you want to convince Chris to do something for you. Yeah. But on 7-9, there is a cost. Yeah, I think there's a factional complication.
Mm-hmm.
The regime on Galliel's planting is not spacefaring, but there is, people trade with the planet, and so word passes through the station. And I think the word that comes through is that the faction claims not to be worried about a group that they call outcasts.
Mm-hmm.
But those outcasts are that it could be they're causing trouble down there. Yeah. And outcasts is the faction associated with this. You can find some description of them and what they're about on the cluster tab. What's Dr. Banner doing in this couple of days of downtime, shore leave, whatever you want to call it?
Putting my ear to the ground, learning about the salvage, figuring out what comes next if I can.
Fine. So when you say where you go and what you do to pick up some local knowledge, so where do we think Dr. Banner's going in search of this?
Like-minded people, the other scientists hanging out at this location, if there are any.
Yeah, I think it's likely to be technical members of staff, that,
Yeah.
Ringgate
Yes.
Authority employees probably. Um, and they probably, there's probably some bars or some, places of entertainment where they can be found. So we'll place you there. Um, Roll plus cred. So
Okay.
2 dice plus 1.
I rolled as I am known to do.
Oh, a pair of 1s. How interesting. Okay. So Brad, just to explain the way this works, generally speaking, 7 plus is you're gonna get what you would like. 10
Okay.
is even better. But 6 or less, things don't go terribly well. So on a 6 minus, the GM chooses one of the 7 to 9 choices, but raises the stakes by adding a cost of failure or something or someone. Okay, you're putting your ear to the ground, Dr. Banner. And one of these technicians is saying, yeah, we've picked up some very strange readings recently from out there in the system. Um, and we've been told not to talk about them, but you seem a nice guy. Um, and then the door is kicked in, and 3 RGA security personnel grab this guy by the shoulders and drag him out of the room. What, if anything, do you do?
Oh, I thank him greatly
Okay,
for
okay.
helping me with my science fiction novel. Thank you for helping me write this story I wanted to write. I couldn't have done it without you. That make-believe knowledge we were discussing is really useful.
So, are you trying to, what's your objective here? To give him a
Uh,
bit of cover or
yes.
yeah, fair enough. Um, let's try another mechanic then. Let's move to the moves tab and try
Okay.
convince or compel. When you act in a way that threatens or incites, it doesn't seem like that.
No,
Deceives or misleads. That sounds like it.
that
Yeah,
sounds like it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Roll plus shady, please, Doctor.
I'm checking my shady because I have forgotten and I apologize.
No,
I
no.
am at a 0 on the shady. All right.
Okay, okay. So let's
No
see if you
shady
can beat
time.
that pair of 1s.
I'm going to try for a better than not much. Not much.
But 6 plus 1 is 7. That's
All right. All
um
right.
I think that the consequence of that is one of the security guys looks at you, marks your face, and says, and they let go of the guy and they say, "You just be careful." And he looks at you and says, "And you too, stranger."
You
Yeah.
bet. Yeah.
You find yourself now on the RGA security details radar. Um, Cage. How does Cage use his bit of shore leave while repairs are being done?
Let's see. We've already got a job. I'm gonna cut loose.
Way hey, do that thing. Okay, so roll plus cred. Where do we see Cage cutting loose?
In one of the many dodgy casinos on board the station.
Fine, fine. Let's have you roll 2d6 plus 1 for cred.
5 and a 1, got a 6.
See
Ooh, plus
now.
1 is 7. So again, floating above the danger zone. Um, you win as much as you lose, you know.
Mhm.
But what is it about gambling that makes you think about your origin story? Because I'm just curious about what did we come up with in terms of those entanglements? Um, what was Cage's entanglement? Debt to a criminal. Oh, guilt. Sorry, guilt. Guilt,
Guilt.
not debt. Yeah.
That was guilt over not helping my
Yeah.
apprentice.
Okay. What do you see in the casino that reminds you of, someone getting themselves into trouble and not being helped?
Well, this is how my apprentice got into trouble in the first place, was in the casinos. And so I'm going to the casino to blow off some steam, but also I'm watching and I'm kind of listening because I want to be able to see if I can get any scuttlebutt on where this person might be or what may have happened to them.
Okay. So they were lost into the void, not to death, but you think that they're somewhere else in the cluster.
I think that they're still alive because they were valuable. They were a valuable person. They had skills.
They had a skill set. Oh, that's interesting. Um,
And
was it
because I
a,
taught them.
yeah, indeed,
I
indeed.
taught them.
So, yeah, okay. So there is a potential missing person in play. Uh, okay, potential missing person in play. What I think I'm curious about is that you're scanning for them, but you don't find them. But you see this young kid, um, and clearly she's getting desperate. Um, you can see her, handling those last two chips, and it looks like she's about to, make a decision about what to do with them at the roulette wheel. And you can see the floor boss has got an eye on her, and kind of just nods at the guy running the wheel. What, if anything, do you do? I'm reading this as a potentially dangerous or tense situation.
I go up to this young girl and I say, "Honey, there you are. I told you not to come down here to this casino. You're going to be in big trouble. Why don't you come with me? Your mom and dad are going to be really ticked off at you."
Okay, now I think that this is potentially taking a risk, intervening in what appears to be something that's being set up around this young woman. So there is a move on the moves tab called Take a Risk. When you attempt something challenging or potentially dangerous, say what success will look like and what you do to achieve it. You've told me what you do to achieve it. Is your objective to get her away from the casino?
Yes.
Okay, I think that is probably about either. I think I'm boiling this down to resolve, charm, or sociability. You're trying to be, hey, it's okay, don't worry, I'll see you okay with this. Let's do, play along. It's either deception or it's charm. So do you want to go with shady or sincere? Because you don't know the girl from Adam, so there's the
Right.
deceit bit.
I'll go with shady.
Okay, and your shady is, just check that out, 0. So 2 dice, no ads.
Okay. So I'm rolling the dice again.
Yep.
Oh, a 3 and a 1.
5. This does not go well. On a 6, you fail. The GM describes the cost of failure. The cost of failure is we see you in what passes for a back corridor near this casino, getting to your feet, having been kind of dragged from the casino and beaten up by the goons. Yeah. So I'm going to apply some stress to you. Yeah. So that allows me to introduce the damage. You will find on row 29 stress and wounds. Yeah.
On which tab?
Oh, sorry, on the crew tab. We're back to your character sheet. Yeah.
29 stress.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to mark that first stress box.
Okay.
Yeah. When you accumulate 3 stress, the next time something bad happens, it turns into a wound, which is rather longer lasting. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think Cage, we see him, heading back to whichever flop house the crew is staying in, dabbing his bloody lip. Finally, who have I got left? Hawthorne.
Hmm.
How are you going to spend your shore leave?
Well, I mentioned before that I'm a people person, so I'm gonna look for a kindred spirit. So I'm gonna try to find a friendly face.
Okay.
Um, I was thinking that because I imagine, with my high sincere, Hawthorne has a very he's got an honest face, and he looks pretty clean cut, uh, uh, without guile. And so he's going to try to pose as like a hapless tourist and basically trying to get sort of scammed by someone who's the kind of person he would be in this situation, and then establish rapport if he can find someone like that who's like him, not particularly mean and
Okay.
rough around the edges.
That's a nice idea. Let's have you roll plus cred.
Okay. All right, so total of 8 with the
8.
+1.
Okay. So you are going to find someone. There's going to be a bit of a complication. So who do you find? Who is your friendly face at the Gallial plantings?
So I'm thinking maybe it's a Hawthorne's relatively young. This is someone probably like 20 years his elder or so. So he was sort of thinking would be the same type of person he is exactly, when in fact it's someone a bit more seasoned.
Yeah.
And so his name is Ripley, and he's running a sort of more complicated scam than uh than Hawthorne realized. So Hawthorne was pay attention to this guy's kind of wacky, his decoy,
Fine.
and didn't quite realize that this other guy was running. And I guess as far as scam, I was thinking it's like a um kind of like a th three card monte, or rather the kind of con that sort of pulls you in and kind of capitalizes on your greed. So he's, almost like offering to for you to help them smuggle something out or something with contraband. Um,
Okay. So he is a scoundrel, in
yeah,
fact, of
yeah,
some description.
yep.
So he operates in the demi-monde of the Ringgate Station. Um, and he is your friend. But in order to be his friend, you kind of have to come clean. And it's almost like you don't realize you're telling him everything until you've told him everything. So
Mm,
what you tell him about the salvage job. Um,
sure.
you tell him that you've been given the location for a particular asteroid out there, that's where you're supposed to go in search of this salvage, the nature of which we will define in play. Um, and he seems really interested and really open. And I think the complication is that he may find a buyer for that location.
Hmm.
He's a friendly face, so he's probably not going to screw you directly,
Right.
but he probably thinks he can use that information. And as you're heading back to the ship after you've spent a couple of hours with this guy, getting to know him and beginning to feel that he's a friend, you're going back and thinking, he found out a lot more about me and what I do than I found out about him and what he does.
Yeah, I was thinking Hawthorne, because he's sort of riddled with guilt over what happened back home. He's prone to drinking, usually kind of on his own, but maybe he got basically this guy tricked Hawthorne into getting far drunker than the other
Yeah, yeah,
fellow
yeah.
was.
He
So yeah,
he handles his drink very well, particularly when there's a pot plant nearby.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
fine,
so yeah.
fine, okay. Fine. That's the state of play when you get a message from the docks that say that repairs are complete, that the money's been transferred, the credits have gone over, and you are now scraping by but ready to fly. Um, Scraping by you may or may not have noticed, has a credit refresh of 0. So would you change your credit from 1 to 0, or each and all, please? Sylvie, you know.
Comes and goes.
But you have a location, and you are being tasked to recover. There is a black box in a crashed ship on that asteroid. Yeah. The circumstances, nobody clarified the circumstances. The bit of this that is illegal is that technically you need a permit from the RGA to undertake salvage jobs, right? So it turns out that the permit is, when you examine it, it's sketchy. Yeah. Were the RGA to test the depth of your cover, so to speak, it could get tricky. So you would want to avoid, if at all possible, any RGA interference out there in the system. But yeah, time to set course again. I think, Dr. Banner, this time I'm going to come to you to enter the coordinates for computer plot a course. Would you roll plus computer, which is +1?
I will roll a 9.
A 9. Okay, 7 to 9. So on 7+, do you arrive at that asteroid at those coordinates, or is there a deep space encounter on the way?
I'm gauging my partner's faces
No,
here.
don't
None of them
gauge their
jumped.
faces. Don't gauge their faces.
None of them looked with joy at that
What do
prospect.
you want? What do you want?
Heck yeah, let's have a deep space encounter. Come on.
Okay, we'll have a deep space encounter. Then that's all fine and dandy. I need you to roll a couple of d6 to give me some idea. And Dr. Banner, I'm going to put you on duty in the bridge. You are the current duty officer when this deep space encounter emerges. I just need to remember where I put it.
I rolled on the dice 6, so depending on what that is, it could be anywhere from a 5 to, if I'm using sharp, to an 8.
No, it's a simple random. What kind of encounter is this? And I just need to pull up my table for that. I should have been better prepped. Sorry. Dub 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 dub, and there it is. Okay, so deep space encounters, there we go. Okay, so it is a 2 and a, what was it? A 2 and a 4.
2 and a 4, yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. You're sitting minding your own business, Dr. Banner. Everyone else is busy about the ship or getting some sack time. When the collision alert goes off, is blaring out across the decks.
Okay.
Now, the trouble is that means that something has breached the closest safe approach for the ship. What do? You have a couple of options here, Dr. Banner. You can either try to avoid it, i.e. dodge it, or you can run from it.
Oh, we're definitely going to dodge it.
Dodge it. Okay.
Yeah.
So to dodge it, you engage emergency protocols, the ship's control system. Controls. The move is called a bumpy ride. When
Okay.
you maneuver to avoid a collision or debris, roll plus controls. Controls is +1. So
Okay.
2d6 +1.
2d6 + 1 equals a 10.
Oh, wow. Who knew Dr. Banner was so light on the controls? On a 10+, 7+, you succeed. Yeah. What was it? It was a 4. Oops, a daisy. Too many tabs. Excuse me.
2-4. Yep.
Yeah. 2-4. A micrometeorite swarm.
Ooh.
You have avoided it. You have dodged it. Well done, Doctor. On a 10+, you say how your success grants the ship advantage.
The dodge went really well, and we open up one of our little netting capture pens and grab a little of this stuff It looks like some sort of heavy metal. We're very
Well,
happy we were able to grab it.
let's explore that possibility. You find yourself. It turns out that the course of the micrometeorites are not too much of a diversion from the course you had set.
Oh,
So you are coasting along now, alongside the micrometeorite swarm. Um, do you want to run a scan? Now, by this point, the alarms have summoned the rest of the crew to the
Hmm.
bridge. Or maybe Cage has rushed to engineering. Cage, you tell me, did you go to engineering or did you go to the bridge?
I actually go to the bridge because I want to get a handle on what's going on and I want to be able to see for myself.
Yeah, good point. So, sensors, run a scan. Dr. Banner is at the controls. So, Cage, you're our next most technical individual, I think. So, Cage, run a sensor scan. So, this is using the ship's sensors. When you scan near space, roll plus sensors, roll plus one.
I'm sorry, that was me.
Yes.
Okay. 4 to 3, 7.
7 plus 1 is 8. 7 plus, you get what the GM says you need to proceed, and they will answer a question about the subject of the scans. I will tell you that potentially the initial scan suggests there are some valuable metals, minerals in among this meteor swarm. Um, but I will also answer a question. Um, 7 to 9. Active sensors alerts them to you and leaves you just otherwise GM discovers cost you. Okay, I'll come to that in a moment. So do you want to know about the potential value of this, or do you want to know whether its behavior is odd? Do you want to know if you are entirely safe now? Or do you want to know where it came from?
I want to know potential value.
Potential. I thought you might. So I will ask a question on that. This is worth, if you could harvest some of this stuff, it would be worth 1 wealth at least, which would move you out of, desperate back into scraping by. So that's what you get. 7 to 9, the cost of your success. Um, there, there are though within the kind of the swarm moving together, there are some eccentric movements of meteorites and fragments within the cloud. So it's not an entirely simple capture job. Yeah?
Of course not.
It would be tedious if it were, wouldn't it? So you would need to go out there and get it because it would be nice if you had some scoops, but you don't. So someone's going to have to
Oh,
go out there and identify an achievable kind of fragment of meteorite and bring it back. Someone or someone's.
Uh, I mean, this is, Mel's bread and butter, right? Suiting up, going out and doing dangerous things. So
Okay.
Mel is definitely going, and she is grumbling under her breath though, going, I told Banner we should get some of those net things. Like, you know, when you're in space, there's always asteroids and meteorites around. We should...
Brassen, Dick Dastardly. Um,
Exactly.
I'm wondering also whether this is an opportunity to see Hawthorne's Daredevil at work.
Yeah, so I was thinking that when he saw that Cage was up here instead of where Hawthorne thinks he belongs, which is down in engineering, that Hawthorne would have let out a big audible sigh and gone down there. Um, and so maybe there's this option in the Daredevil move that seems interesting. The one where, well, yeah, the one that's with Sincere. Now, is that something where I was wondering if that's something he could use to sort of help guide her, or would he have to go out and do it sort
Oh,
of with her?
he has to do it and
Okay.
say, do it like this.
Okay, then yes, he thinks this is after all, he was the one that was interested in the EVA stuff. back in the old days, and so I think he would scramble back up and start suiting up.
Okay, so Hawthorne and Mel are suiting up in the EVA prep room. Cage and Banner, the ship will run, on autopilot in a straight line for as long as you want it to. So there's no reason for any one of you to stay on board unless you want to. You could go out and help with the search. Just asking.
I'll
Dr.
go.
Banner's up for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cage is up for that. So we see all four of you suiting up. And, I always imagine in this kind of level of technology, it's somewhere between those enormously bulky alien suits and those rather svelte expanse suits. Yeah, so it's somewhere between those two. And you head up, because these ships are stacked. You don't have gravity. It is just like the Expanse. Gravity comes from, being propelled in a particular direction and switching around halfway. So at the top of the stack of decks is the EVA suite and the airlock. And so I'm seeing Hawthorne emerging onto the deck, clicking the mag boots on, and lining up with this massive, tiny, moving, small, from the size of a baseball, to use an analogy that will work with most of the audience present, via a rugby ball, which may or may not work, to, quite, a meter or two across. Micro in this context is quite big. Space is big. And so I see Hawthorne kind of lining up on maybe one of the larger ones to act as an anchor point. What are you saying to them, Hawthorne? Because this is the first time we've seen anyone going EVA in this Netflix pilot.
He's lying very easily about the fact that he's done this type of sort of EVA salvage before. So he's making up the sort of the procedure. This is how you should do it. And as always, he's sort of passive aggressive. He says, you don't have to follow my lead. Maybe you have your own experience. Maybe you've watched holovids. Maybe you think you'll be lucky, but this is how we've done it. So, um, follow me. And he's gonna start to do it. He basically likens it to fishing, sort of like a kind of a harpoon fishing. And yeah, so anyone who follows his lead is great. He's not going to be pushy beyond that initial passive aggressive bit.
And the good thing is that with an EVA equipment of one, you do actually have what amounts to a grapple.
Right.
So Hawthorne is going to line up the grapple, and then he's going to convince the rest of you that all you have to do then is to anchor it this side, and then you just hook on, and it's just easy. Not
and Hawthorne speaks very calmly.
Of course,
that's his deal. So
yeah. So Hawthorne, let's have you roll with sincerity to see how well this takes.
Okay. I think now, does anyone have to pick first before they decide, or before I roll, does anyone have to choose if they're going to follow?
The quality of your sincerity will tell us, and then people can go with the flow. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Do I see a pair of ones?
You sure do.
Oh, well. Maybe
not alone.
There was either a little bit too much passive or a little bit too much aggressive. But anyway,
I did mention he's a drinker, so he might be still in the throes.
Okay, so we can ignore 7+. We ignore 7 to 9. We can just jump straight to 6-. You and anyone following your lead fail are disadvantaged, and the GM may describe an additional cost of your failure for you and anyone who followed your advice. So Hawthorne makes his way across, and as he's making his way, he's got a bit of momentum going, and then the grapple comes loose, and his momentum takes him off the end of the tether into the the near distance, the meteorite swarm, which many of them look entirely stationary, of course, because you've matched course with them. but still, it's a bit iffy. So I'm going to come to our spacer next, actually, because you have experience in zero G, so this we'll find out whether that finesse zero was a good choice or not. Uh, what do you do, Cage, when you see Hawthorne come off the end of the tether? He obviously didn't sufficiently check that the tether was secure. Now you can repeat the exercise and try to reattach, or you can adopt a different approach entirely, because you are not going to get the advantage that he was trying to grant you.
Well, no. So now Hawthorne is drifting in
Hawthorne
space.
is drifting off into the meteorite, the near distance of the meteorite. The chances are that he's going to hit a meteorite, but he's not going really fast. He was just he in effect he pulled the tether through his.
I can okay, so I can see that he is heading towards a meteorite.
Yes.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire a tether at the meteorite that he's destined for.
Okay.
So that if he can grab a hold of that meteorite, because I don't want to grapple him because I don't want to kill him.
Exactly. Fair point. Fair point.
So
yeah.
So I want to see if he can grab a hold of what I have latched onto.
Okay, so there's that desperate piece of music is playing as Hawthorne is drifting away, and you're desperately, pressing the button to re-spool the tether, and then take aim and roll with finesse.
Oops, select first. There we go. 2 4s.
Oh, yeah.
So not bad. So that is 8. On a 7 or 8 on this move, you're going to be okay. On a 7, you succeed. On 7 to 9, you almost make it, but the GM describes the complication. It's a misjudged approach. The GM chooses your arrival point. It's a clumsy approach. They know you're coming and they could target you and or prep you or welcome. This isn't a ship, so that one doesn't apply. So it's a reckless approach. Split 3 stress between you and any crew out there with you. I think that makes most sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There you go.
So you do indeed tether the right asteroid, meteorite, rock, that Hawthorne is coming towards. But you take 1 stress due to the emotional tension, because you've lost people, So mark another stress. Hawthorne, you're going to mark 2 stress because you do hit that rock with some force.
Right. I'm also very embarrassed.
Yeah, maybe
right?
one of those stress is physical, the other one is emotional. Yeah, fair enough. Maybe they're both emotional, whichever way you want to play it. Now, Mel, you're the closest we have to a security officer. And you've seen this go off. Cage has successfully got to a rock, and is all set to kind of make his way across. What do you do, Mel, or do you send Dr. Banner first?
Mel is going to send Dr. Banner first because she's already seen a couple of jokers playing around, and she knows that someone needs to be the adult and stay with the ship just in case they actually need us to, pilot through this micrometeorite storm to be able to collect people.
Okay. So, Dr. Banner, you're going to roll plus finesse, which is the kind of physical agility area, but you have a tether that is securely attached to help you. So I'm going to give you the advantage dice. So you'll see that there are the 2 pale dice, and now there is a green dice just underneath them. You are going to roll all 3 dice and take the top 2.
Okay. I needed that. Thank you.
Wow.
So that is the best 2 is a 5. Okay. And your finesse is 1, which makes it 6. Dr. Banner, these unintelligent folk who, couldn't stitch together a hypothesis if it sought to bite them. Um, you thought there was a better way to attach yourself to that tether.
Oh yeah.
And decided that rather than going hand over hand, you just launch.
Right.
But you had not securely attached yourself to the tether when you launched. So you are currently flying off at an angle from where Cage has located the tether. Mel, what do you
Yeah,
do?
can Mel
I wave at
because
Mel.
Mel is because Mel was holding back, just watching what was going on. Can she have a chance to like grab
Yeah,
Banner's foot as as she
there,
sees him
yeah, there is a
flying off?
move called aid a crew member. When a member of the crew accepts your offer to help to improve their outcome
Yes.
after they roll plus stat, say what you do. So basically, what are you doing? Because that's going to relate to which stat you're going to roll with.
I mean, I'd love to say I'm forcefully, but really, I guess it's finesse to just reach out, grab that foot
Grab
before
him.
he flies off, to then pull him back.
Okay, agility, speed, or precision. That seems to be, acting quickly and precisely. Roll plus finesse.
What the? I mean, they both changed.
They did. They are real. That is a 2 and that is a 1. So on a 6, you both suffer any cost attached to the original action.
Oh,
You
no.
grab him, but you were insecurely attached to the ship.
Now you see, this is
And-
why Hawthorne does not go for these deep space encounters.
Yeah.
You can't
And
talk an
apparently-
asteroid out of messing with
Money.
you.
It
money right here.
seemed like a good idea. It seemed like a good idea.
Money.
You both suffer any cost attached to the original action, and the GM may describe an additional cost of failure. The additional cost of failure is that you are not heading towards where Cage has attached a tether. Cage, the question for you now is, what are you going to do? Because you are still on the ship, having attached a tether. Dr. Banner went across. Do you want to have gone across before Banner, or do you want to still be on the ship? I should have asked you.
I think I want to still be on the ship.
Okay. So Banner and Mel's additional impetus has now got them spinning
Right.
away. Hawthorne has, got hold of the tether where you've put it. And you and the kind of grapple gun are on the ship. The grapple is secure at the ship. It's secure at the rock. But Banner and Mel are in trouble. What are you going to do, Cage?
I don't know. Jesus. It's like, fuck.
That's appropriate.
Let's see.
I mean, that is a perfectly legitimate response.
Totally.
In fact, you know what? I think at 5 past the hour, I think the camera comes in
Cliffhanger.
on your faceplate as you go, oh, fuck! Cut to commercial.
Cut to commercial.
It is 5 past the hour. Is 5 minutes long enough?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Sure.
See you at 10 past again. So we come back from our commercial break on Cage. And I think then we cut to Banner and Mel, who have they've grabbed onto one another. So now they're they're spinning out of control. And I guess I should come next to Hawthorne. Oh, Eric, you've just gone away. Or unless, have you leaned away and the green screen has swallowed you? Because that is
Out
a
of
thing.
picture. Yeah.
Cage, you're screaming. Mel and Dr. Banner, you're spinning somewhat out of control, away from both Cage and Hawthorne. Mel, Dr. Banner. Oh, no, let me ask Hawthorne. Hawthorne, you see this unfold, and you hear over comms Cage saying, oh, fuck. What, if anything, has Hawthorne got to offer to this situation?
So I'm wondering, I'm on this asteroid or meteorite, right?
Yeah.
I, I mean, he's a daredevil, so
Ooh.
I'm wondering if I can try to use my sort of suit jets, it's thrusters, to try to sort of angle, kind of like steer this meteorite into their path so that
Oh, wow.
so we'd all wind up on it.
Wow.
So
Now,
just sort of like swinging it on its
yeah,
tether.
that's really cool. Now, it must be said that if you had this is a good time to look at your equipment.
Right,
Um,
right.
yeah, let's see if you've got a piece of gear because there is a thing called a maneuver unit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that works.
Yeah,
I've got so
and
yeah, I can add that.
you may have one. So
Yep, I
you are
do.
wearing a maneuver unit. Um, And so you can maneuver like a tiny spaceship. So either you can go out or you can try to use that maneuver unit to move this rock. Yeah, that
I think I'm gonna
begins
do
to.
that
Okay,
because
so this
yeah.
begins to define the nature of this rock. Its mass is less than you, significantly less than you. So we're probably looking at something in the kind of baseball to meter across kind of rock that you've secured yourself to, and you were going to try and move that towards Mel and Dr. Banner using what I think in the blurb says something like you have complete, perhaps too much confidence in your skills, mobility, agility, and your ability to assess risk for yourself and others. So let us have you engage the Daredevil move.
Yep.
I think that this is probably roll plus finesse because
Yeah.
you can't really sincere them out of this one.
No. No.
So this is gonna get the bosses of Netflix. Their mouths are gonna water. He's gonna move the fucking asteroid.
Well, let's see if I can do better than Snake Eyes. Ooh, so it's a 6 total, so not quite.
Okay. Is there anything, Cage, at the other end of the tether that you could do to help?
Um, I am looking around for some way to jury-rig this tether and to redo the tether, to redeploy the tether. And so what I'm thinking is that there needs to be something that can kind of spread out, that once I fire the tether so that they could have a chance of grabbing hold of something. And
Okay.
so I'm applying different items with cables, and I'm kind of making sort of a, not really a net, but something that once it fires, all these items will fly out. So I'm tying and attaching things with some sense of mass on the ends to give them some velocity. So
Fine.
I've being the engineer that I am, I've like thrown it together as fast as I possibly could, and I'm gonna see if I can send something out there that they can grab a hold of.
Now, there's two ways you can come at this. You can either try that as a separate effort from Hawthorne's maneuvering of the asteroid, or you could aid him using force to provide this brute force solution.
I think I'm going to aid him.
Okay. Okay. So Hawthorne, let's have you try this out. You are going to maneuver using finesse.
Okay. So, oh wait, am I rolling again? Because I already did.
Oh, sorry, you did. And what did you get? It was a six,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
it was a
Yeah,
6
right. And I
total.
asked
Yeah.
Cage, what could you do to help? Fine.
Right.
So you are gonna aid a friend with aid the crew member with force, I think. Yeah. So strength, resilience, and aggression, you're using brute force to get this thing together and hurl it out into space.
Okay, now
So
I've got a
Cage,
+2 on force.
exactly so. This is a good choice.
Okay, so I'm rolling 5 and a 6.
Get that.
11, 12, 13. If only there was a benefit for getting that much. But on a 7 plus, their outcome improves by one step Hawthorne's failure becomes a mixed success. And there is no downside on a 10 plus. So Hawthorne, it looked like you'd blown it, but you didn't. You have a mixed success on that. And you succeed in moving this towards Mel and Dr. Banner. The mixed success of it is that you have created an opportunity for Banner and Mel. You have not solved Banner and Mel. So which one of you, Mel or Banner, is going to use your either strength or agility or work out some solution? Maybe you can, my orbital dynamics is rusty, I'll be honest with you. But maybe there is some way that the doctor can vent somebody's suit to just nudge you in the right direction. I don't know.
Full Iron Man right here. We're going to do full Iron Man.
Okay.
That's what we're going to do.
So you're hanging on to Mel as you're spinning, and you say to Mel, just put a puncture in one glove. And then, just you can maneuver. Oh gosh, this bloody automatic recognize hand up. And
at that moment, I remember I too had put on the oh no, I didn't have that. I have an electronics maintenance and repair kit. So I put some of that on my belt so I can stab a hole easily.
Fair enough.
Readily.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, Mel always has a knife on her, so.
Oh,
okay. There you go. There you go.
Good.
So this is Dr. Banner's idea. I think that this is going to boil down to Mel's finesse, agility, and precision, but with Dr. Banner's help. So I'm not going to make Dr. Banner roll for that. I'm just going to grant you advantage. Yeah? So you're going to roll 3 dice and take the top 2 and add finesse, Mel. That's not necessarily a good
3
thing.
dice, top 2. My finesse is 0, so we'll see. But
could go
that
wrong?
was fine.
3 dice.
Yeah, 11.
There you go. So that's 11 is the top 2. Am I seeing the right ones?
Yes.
So that
Well done,
goes beautifully. And as the asteroid moves one way, and Cage's makeshift tethers spread out to try and give you a better chance, we see both of you kind of hit, and at the point where you're about to bounce back, Dr. Banner, who is facing the asteroid while you look over your shoulder and direct her, grabs hold. You are all 3 of you on the same rock. Cage, you're still on the ship. Now, my question is...
Because I'm not stupid. I'm a spacer.
Mel was planning on staying on the ship.
So, Cage, do you want to go with them and, take some samples of this rock and try and get some valuable out of it? Or are you going to just act as Anchorman?
I'm going to just act as Anchorman.
Fair enough.
I'm going to stay where I'm at, because if I go out there and there's more trouble, then there is nothing that anybody can do.
Fair enough. So I think how I imagine your jury rig was a number of different tethers went out there. And I think the first thing we see happening is all 3 of the crew who are on that rock, securing those tethers into the surface. Mm-hmm. And then each one of you gets to make, an exploration move. Yeah. When you explore something, describe your approach. Are you going to be in a hurry? Are you going to use brute force and ignorance? Are you going to take time and consider your options? Or are you trying to avoid notice? Now, I don't think there's any point avoiding notice. As far as we know, there's nothing out here. Of course, that's only as far as we know. But so let me come first to Mel. Brute strength and ignorance?
Hell yeah.
Or pace? Do you want to get this over with and back to the ship?
Yeah. Well, I have to, right? Because I'm leaking air whenever I do this.
No, I think snap patch, you're okay.
Yeah, snap patch, all right. But yeah, I'm not feeling very confident about this, and so just brute force.
Okay. Roll plus force.
Okay. Fortunately, this is something that Mel is good at.
There you go.
7 plus 2 is 9.
9. 7 plus. You pick one. Salvage worth 1 wealth. Okay. Someone or something of narrative interest. Or, those are the only 2 that apply in this context. So
Wealth.
have you found wealth, or have you found someone or something of narrative interest?
Wealth.
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 Wealth. Wealth. Okay. +1 wealth.
Sees
There
the
is-
glint of gold in them there meteorites and chips it out.
Okay. Hawthorne. Brute strength and ignorance, force. Swiftness, finesse. Consideration, sharp.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in danger of being sick in my suit, so I'm gonna make this as quick as possible. So
Roll plus finesse.
roll for some speed here. Well, it's not my day, so 5 total. So yeah.
Oh, wow. It really is not your day, is it?
No.
Okay, so on a 6 minus, things do not go well. The GM describes a cost of failure. You suffered emotional stress due to gore bodies, a flashback linked to your entanglement. What is your entanglement? Remind me.
The guilt
Yeah,
over my
I think you're getting a rush of embarrassment has turned into guilt. You nearly got 2 of the crew killed.
Yeah, and also Cage saved me twice here, so in a row.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to apply an emotional stress to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that may fit into your sense of nausea in the suit.
Yeah.
What about Dr. Banner? What approach are you taking to this? Are you kind of assessing what you can see of the rock and trying to work out where best to kind of put your chisel in, or what?
Actually, geology is like part of my expertise. I'm looking at which one of those is the best.
Okay,
Right.
so
That's where I'm going. What's going to be the best wealth value for the effort we're putting in here?
okay, so roll plus sharp, and let's see what happens. I've still got a 7 to 9 for Mel that is just put on the shelf. Oh, 2 1s. This is uncanny. This is uncanny. Okay.
I don't like your dice roller. I'm just saying.
I think, let's see. You are surprised and disadvantaged by a dangerous active threat. You know, I told you that some of these rocks were operating eccentrically within the swarm. One of those, we see you carefully focused on the rock surface, you're chipping bits off and kind of examining it. And the camera is on your face when over your shoulder, we see a rock closing swiftly towards you. I'll come back to that one. Paige, you see all of this happening. Mel, that you found the wealth, you got a 7 to 9. You have a choice. You can give up that wealth, or you can take the risk of actually getting it. And the risk may be related to that incoming eccentrically orbiting fragment of stone.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Mel will definitely take the risk.
Take the risk. Fine.
Take the risk. She's fed up.
You see what's happening. Banner is just focused on the rock. But you see over his shoulder, you see what we, the audience, saw. So do you, Cage. Maybe we cut the Cage. Oh, fuck! Don't know. But Mel, you see this. The risk is, if it hits Banner, it's going to hit the rock, and you're going to lose the rock. Yeah? So what do you do to try to avoid this outcome?
I think we've already been chipping away at stuff, right? And we've got various lumps.
Yeah,
and
you've got a kind of
going to hurl the biggest, heaviest bit, in a direction so that we then go the other way, and hoping that will pull us just
Diverge the
off
two.
course.
I think that's great. That sounds to me like either Sharp working out the best place to throw it, or the force to throw it with.
Oh, yeah.
I'm guessing I know the answer to that question.
Yeah. She's just hoiking it as hard as she possibly can.
With force.
Yep. And that's a 4. What? 4 plus 2 is 6.
Is 6.
I mean, if someone can aid me, I don't know.
So, now not Dr. Banner, because Dr. Banner is eyes down. In fact, Dr. Banner, we see you look up, and it looks like Mel is about to throw a sharp fragment of rock at you. Paige, you see this. You and the ship are tethered to that, or the ship is tethered to that rock, and you are secure on the ship. What, if anything, do you think you can do to save Dr. Banner and dig Mel out of a hole?
I want to start reeling them in.
Exactly so.
I mean, if I can get them and the rock in, but this is a really dangerous situation. And so, my first concern is to my crewmates, and then the second concern is maybe I can get that rock.
Good answer.
If the other crew don't make it, then maybe
That's
I can
right, good.
get the rock out of this deal.
All right, that's a good deal.
Leaving 2 members of the crew. So
I tried.
let's have you roll plus force to aid a crew member. Can you help Mel by getting them out of difficulties?
So let's see. And so is this going to be like force or sharp?
I think this is force.
Okay.
Because this is you demonstrated it.
Okay.
You could rely on the little motor in the grapple gun, or
Right.
you can go for it. Holding it in. Go for it.
Okay. And this is just the 2 die.
2 dice plus force, which in your case is 2, I think.
I got a
Look
10.
at that. On a 7+, their outcome improves by 1 step. Failure becomes success. You heave on the rock. The rock moves out of its previous alignment. What was going to be a miss from Mel turns into a hit. And as Dr. Banner looks up and sees Mel hurling this rock, it kind of flies past his head. And of course, we then see it hit the incoming rock, and both shatter into pieces, none of which hit Dr. Banner. Cut back to the cargo hold, where you are stowing fragments of meteorite worth 1 wealth. I'm going to increase your wealth by 1, which means that you are now scraping by again, and you haven't even got paid for this job yet. Wow. Okay. We have 90 minutes to complete a salvage mission. On the basis of this so far, everything's fine.
I need to ask, is there any effect, any mechanical or other effect I'm at 3 stress. Does that just mean I'll take wounds if I take more?
Stress, yeah, exactly. Stress is plot armor to all intents and purposes. It's sweating brow. It's kind of, oh shit, that hurt. Next time you take a wound, then that will act as disadvantage when it's relevant.
Got it. Okay.
So, reset course. Now, who hasn't set course yet? Mel, I think. Mel, you have the coordinates for this salvage job. You know the kind of orbit of the rock that you're after. Reset your course, because you will have diverged a bit.
Yeah. I mean, I think she's come in. She's just thrown the EVA suit onto the ground, absolutely furious. Storms off up to the bridge and punches it and goes, right, we're on the way.
Roll +1 for computer to plot a course.
+1 for computer. Yay!
7+.
That's how you do it.
That's better.
Pick one. You arrive at your destination. or you don't arrive because there's a deep space encounter.
Oh, I think we arrive.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, on 10 plus.
Your money.
Either the ship arrives at their destination and the crew has advantage to getting paid. So you keep that in mind. There's an advantage when you finally fulfill the contract. But yeah, so there's this rock, apparently still in space, getting slightly bigger as you drift in towards it. Dr. Banner, do you want to run a sensor scan on this thing?
Yes, I do.
Okay, run a scan, roll plus sensors, which is roll plus 1.
Rolling
Why
the plus
anyone is
one.
letting you near any technical equipment, I'm not certain.
How
but,
is it that you keep doing this?
Oh, wow, that's
I
remarkable.
really don't like this roller. I don't like this roller at all.
Okay, well, look,
Demand a new roller.
on the upside, I should have told you this. I didn't think it would matter, but I should tell you that you are marking XP for every failure. So,
Okay.
Dr.
Oh,
Banner,
that's right.
mark 4 XP
I
for the
will do
failures.
that.
And
All right.
because
That's
I've not
XP.
been thinking about it, everybody else can mark 2 XP. You'll find it on row 63.
Well, 63. I can do that.
Yeah, there's a total XP with 6 little boxes. Everyone marks 2. Dr. Banner marks 4 because I forgot to tell you about it earlier.
Is that on crew?
Yes, it's on crew. Sorry, it is.
It's on crew.
Thank you.
What is XP?
Experience points.
Okay.
When you achieve 6
So-
experience points, you will get to choose an improvement.
Okay, so I mark 2.
Yeah.
I'm ready for my improvement.
No, you get 4, not 6.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, cool.
Okay. So there it is. Dr. Banner, you run a scan. It goes very badly. Wow.
More power to the engines.
It is, yeah. You get what the GM says you need to proceed, but expect a cost of failure, even if it's not immediately obvious what that is. You pick up a mass of metal, but no more than that. So you were expecting a crash ship. There is something extraneous to the rock that it's on. And this rock is quite big. Yeah, so this might be a mile or 2 across. Just spinning in space. But there is something out there that isn't rock. But that's the lot. Okay? And there may be a cost of failure that I'm just not telling you about yet. Okay?
Not arrived yet.
No. I will just write down here cost, so I don't forget about it. What's the plan? There it is. Are you gonna move the ship up real close and you could land the ship? I mean, it can't land in an atmosphere, but it could land on this asteroid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or we could EVA it, right?
You could.
We could. Or we could take the shuttle.
You could take the shuttle. Leave the ship at a safe distance and take the shuttle. What do you think?
I'm good with the shuttle.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be bringing something back. Will it fit in the shuttle? It's a black box. We assume it will, right?
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Okay.
Let's take that shuttle.
So now you spent one on the shuttle, didn't you? You did.
Yes.
And I think it was you who spent it, Mel.
It was me.
It was. You get to choose one feature of the shuttle from the list below.
What? I mean, it's not useful, but what is Mel? The reason Mel's super into the shuttle, right? She loves it. And the main reason is because she gets to go out and do shooting practice because it's armed.
It's armed. Okay. So it is armed. That's all I needed to know. So I will put a line through agile and a line through resilient, and I will leave armed, clear, and present. It's armed with a point defense cannon, roll plus finesse to do some damage to stuff out there. Yeah? Okay. So Mel is on the weapons console on the shuttle. Who wants to fly it? And this will be a finesse task before you ask me. So who is best placed to fly the shuttle?
I got a +1.
+1? Is that as good as it gets?
Yeah, I've got a +1 also.
Okay. So I'm guessing, Dr. Banner, you may want to be checking,
Assisted?
maybe. So let's put Hawthorne as our daredevil
Yeah.
at the controls. That slight scent of alcohol breath, maybe.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
we see that, the clamshells next to the cargo bay open, and the shuttle, poof, 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 drops out, and burn comes on, and it just heads towards. With all four of you aboard, I would suggest.
Yeah.
Unless Cage still wants to stay with the ship.
Don't do it.
Cage.
No, he doesn't want to stay with the ship. He's
Come
a
on,
spacer.
Cage.
He wants to
Come
be out
on.
there.
Fine.
So
I'm a doctor.
you're fine. You'll be okay.
It'll be great.
What
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? Indeed, what could go wrong? And so we see the shuttle heading towards the rock. The sensors revealed that there was some kind of largish metallic mass on the rock, but it didn't give you a precise location. So Hawthorne, what's your approach to the this rock and the supposed wreck and black box? What do we see you doing? Or what do we see the shuttle doing?
So do we know how large this is?
The rock is a couple of miles across. I'm thinking of it as vaguely kind of ovoid, and it's spinning on its long axis.
Okay. So then I think as much as I don't like the idea of right now, the main thing that Hawthorne's focusing on is matching that spin. So but as sort of slowly as possible, because we've all been doing a lot of that
Yeah,
recently.
I get that.
So yeah. Now at the same time though, he is a daredevil, so he's waiting for his moment to kind of prove himself. But in the meantime, he is he is being as cautious as possible for now. So
Okay. So I think this would count as you want a maneuver to avoid a collision or debris or break a missile lock or otherwise thread the needle. So you want to
yes.
match spin. Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay. So let's have your roll plus controls, which is +1.
got it. Hey, look, it takes a while for alcohol to get out of your system. Especially because I'm probably taking little like hair of the dog nips
So that is a 4 in total, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
Okay. So controls on a 6-, you fail and you're at risk of damage. Roll brace at disadvantage. Now, Cage, you're our engineer. I think you're probably on damage control. So down on that ship, there is a section called structure with a move called brace. When the ship is at risk of damage, roll plus structure. Now, you invested quite a bit in structure, so you're rolling +2, Cage, to see whether you can, whether this is going to be good or bad.
And so that's +2 because of force.
No, +2 because of the quality that you've invested in the ship. I think Mel spent some points on structure when we were designing the ship. So the structure, oh no, this is the shuttle.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I was
sorry,
about
it's
to
the
say,
shuttle.
sorry.
Yeah, no, you're
yes,
quite right.
we're in the
You're
shuttle.
quite right. I'm sorry. And it's not resilient, is it?
No, it's
No,
not resilient
okay.
or agile.
Okay. So yes. So it's kind of a sitting duck. So Hawthorne, you are
But
coming in.
the shuttle is inside the ship, so it's a part of the ship. So would that carry over?
Not anymore. It's not.
Not anymore.
It would have been if it was still in that shuttle hold. But Sorry,
I
thanks for the
try.
reminder. I got carried away then with brace, brace, brace. So Hawthorne, this is not going to go well. Is there anyone who thinks they're likely to notice the problem first?
I'm looking over the shoulder, right?
You are,
Yeah.
and you're quite a sharp cookie. So I think I'm going to let you roll with sharp to try and
Okay.
warn Hawthorne of an incoming problem.
This
Yeah,
should be fine.
to aid a crew member.
So it's +2, so it is a 7, right?
It is. It is. I mean, that's vast success from where Dr. Banner is sitting. So on a 7 plus, outcome improves. Hawthorne's outcome improves from failure to success, and success at a cost. Um, and on a 7 to 9, you suffer any cost attached to their original action. So Banner, I think that you kind of shout at Hawthorne or something, bear left, bear left, bear left. And as you do so, you lose, you're hanging on, because 0G, you're hanging on, and you get thrown against one of the bulkheads in the shuttle. Yeah. So I'm going to apply 1 stress to you. But Hawthorne, that does mean that you see what's coming. And what's coming is incoming fire. Someone or something is firing at the shuttle from just over the horizon of that spinning rock. So you have matched the spin successfully with that effect, and you veered away to avoid that incoming danger. But someone was firing at the shuttle. What do you do,
Okay.
Hawthorne? Or what does Mel's our kind of
Yeah.
military? Mel, what do you shout?
I say very quietly, Mel, hostile contact.
Uh, I know, Hawthorne. Get us below the horizon. Betty can't take any hits from that kind of fire.
Copy that.
And we see Mel clambering up a ladder to get into a bubble. Yeah, which has a surprisingly old style aiming mechanism. Um, Paige, what about you? Anything you think you can do in this situation that might help?
I'm just thinking about, getting the shuttle out of the line of fire.
What do you think you
But
could do? Because I'm
but
just.
I'm on board the ship, and what I might be
Oh
able to
no,
do.
no! I was sure you were on a shuttle. Oh really? Do you want to stay on the ship? No, you should be on the shuttle.
Oh,
You
okay,
gotta
I'll
go.
be on the shuttle.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Otherwise, the rest. I've got a plot unraveling ahead of me that doesn't involve you. Cut back to Cage whistling on the bridge. Um,
Um, so
can I
this
point
shuttle
you?
is this shuttle is unarmed.
Can I? Yeah, no, it is armed, but it's neither agile nor resilient to damage. But can I point you at your engineer move, make or break? When you agree with the GM which feature in or characteristics of the scene you want to add or remove, say what you do. If you use brute force to provide an immediate solution, roll plus force. If you take time, you need to work out a more elegant solution, roll plus sharp. And I'm just wondering, Mel is saying, get us the hell below the horizon. Is there anything you can do in terms of, I don't know, doing something engineering with the drives to remove the threat that this firing position, the fire that's incoming, might be causing you?
I'm going to take a tactic out of Star Trek, and I'm going to reroute some power from life support systems to the engines so that we can get a better burst and get the fuck out of here.
That sounds like a rapid response, an immediate pulling wires out of here, and yeah, fine. So cut to Cage desperately rewiring, the systems. Tears a panel off. We see him, gets the sonic screwdriver out.
Sonic screwdriver.
And so yeah, so Cage, I think that let's have you roll your make or break move. Roll plus force to make the shuttle different by breaking some stuff.
And I've got +2 for force.
You have.
So here we go. Ooh.
That's a 6. Now, we have Mel shouting at Hawthorne saying, get us below. So Hawthorne is already engaged on that. I think Hawthorne's maybe finesse would work to aid the effort Cage is also making. Yeah? Because at the moment, you fail and the GM describes the cost of failure.
Yeah.
Let's see if Hawthorne's actions complement that with a roll plus finesse.
It's always possible. Oh, look at that. So I think that's a 9 total.
There you go. So when you roll to aid an ally, aid a member of the crew, 7 to 9, you succeed. Cage goes from failure to mixed success. Fair enough. We'll worry about what that is in a moment. You, Hawthorne, suffer any cost attached to their original action. I think that what do I want to do to Hawthorne at this
Well,
point?
I would mention that, I mean, even though he's sort of annoyingly blameless. I mean, he's been like he's had to have this is yet another banner has now saved his ass. So he's really going through it internally. But anyway, that's the only thing I would mention.
Okay, well, I think I'm going to give you an emotional wound because I think your stress track is full, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm going to apply a wound which is increasingly uncertain.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it seems like every time you do something, it kind of doesn't quite go the way you planned, and somebody has to step in. So you're
Yeah.
getting a little bit kind of, should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? Yeah.
Yep.
And that will probably apply as a disadvantage when you're trying to work out solutions to stuff. Yeah.
Got it.
Or maybe when you're wanting to act in the moment, you overthink it.
Hmm.
Okay. So Cage, that was your move to make or break to just get more power to the engines. It went from a failure to a mixed success, 7 to 9. The GM describes the cost of success. A different feature characteristic is added or removed. I'm going to add limited oxygen supply. So the clock is ticking on because you don't have to wear a suit in the shuttle. It has its own life support. So I'm going to add to the shuttle life support failing because that's where you took the power from, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So you if you can't get back to the ship relatively straight quickly, you could find yourselves having to operate inside your suits, which are clumsy. Okay. So but Hawthorne, you've got below the horizon, Dr. Banner, whatever firing position there was on that rock is now below the horizon, is beyond the horizon. So you're safe for the moment. Dr. Banner, do you have any I'm looking at your hypothesis move. When you want to throw light on a problem, situation, or mystery, choose the hypothesis you want to test.
Yeah, I like that one. I also like to crack it because I want to know who's shooting at us, but I also want to know can we get the box and get the hell out of here? Right?
Fair enough. Well, I think for crack it, you need to get closer to the box.
Okay. Oh, okay. So let's figure out a way to get this ship down safely and get to where we need to be and maybe not draw any fire.
Okay. So which of those 4 hypotheses, a flaw or weakness, a source or origin, purpose or function, it has value or promotes the agenda of a named individual or faction, it will behave in a predictable way, and then we'll test your hypothesis.
I think I'm looking at this rock, trying to figure out where we can hide the ship so the people who are looking for us don't see us.
Okay, so a flaw or weakness in their position.
That's right.
Fine. To get close, but remain, yeah, fine. So, if you test your hypothesis by using data remotely, roll plus sharp,
Okay.
I think that's more than direct experimentation in the field. You don't want to just fly up there and see when the firing starts. So
That's right.
So let's have you roll plus sharp.
All right, we'll roll plus sharp. This will be a pair of 1s plus 2, right? That's how this works.
That's how it works.
That appears to be the standard response, yeah.
Sadly, I rolled better than that. I rolled a 10. I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
wow, look at that. Wow, look at that. So, on a 7 plus, the GM will provide you with information relevant to your hypothesis, and you have advantage to exploit it. So, yeah, I absolutely we'll see on the kind of sensor screen, we'll see, a wireframe of the asteroid, the predicted location of the firing position, and a crevasse in the near to that position where Hawthorne can set down the
I'm
shuttle.
getting a bad feeling about this. I'm just saying it out loud.
And
Everything's
so,
everything's going great, I think.
Too good.
yeah, shouldn't yeah, let's loosen this up. This perfection. Um, yeah, I think I'm going to cut to seeing the shuttle coming in low over the surface, poof, 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 and then settling gently into this dead ground. Yeah. Um, and that leaves you a short hike
Hmm.
from the firing position and what you assume at this point, Dr. Banner, because you've got no better sensor readings, the
Hmm.
location of this Hulk. Yeah? Okay. Um, and I think probably, given that I'm looking at the clock, I think that we see the four of you suited up, making your way across the asteroid in that direction. Mel,
Uh,
And tethered?
well,
no,
come to that in a minute.
not tethered,
Mel.
because Mel's got her power armor on.
Oh,
Oh,
oh.
yes.
That's
Yeah,
what we
now
do.
was the time to identify the power armor. Now, I am going to get into gear before we break, because what I want you to do is to select the 6 pieces of gear
Hmm.
that you have. Yeah. And I notice Mel has done this: blade, powered armor, personal drone, assault rifle. You have 2 more things to
Hmm.
choose. Um, and I want each of you to choose the 6. You are going to be able to take 3 of them with you when you leave the ship. Yeah. So it's what's in your locker, 6 items, and what are you taking with you, 3 items. Now, for all of you but Mel, one of those items is going to be a vac suit.
Hmm.
Yeah, because
Gotcha.
everyone has one. Um, so I'll put that on everyone but Mel. Uh, Mel is taking. There's a little column marked C next to it, which then allows you to decide what you're going to take.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the other three are back in the shuttle.
Yes, they're in your locker. Well, no, they're on the ship.
Oh, they're on the ship. Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah. Every time you leave the ship, you decide which 3 things you take with you.
Hmm.
So Cage, unsurprisingly, I think, has taken a multi-tool, which is a weapon that will club people to death when they're in spacesuits. But it can also do maintenance repair when doing EVA. An engineering kit, electronics and machine maintenance, and a ranged, hardened science and engineering drone. Spot on. What am I looking at for Dr. Banner? Med kit seems reasonable. Electronics kit seems reasonable. Camo poncho, yeah, that old Crackit, yeah, the investigator. Fair enough. And
I'm
uh,
I'm, I'm still picking.
okay,
Uh, yeah, I think. All right. All right, and then the last one for me of the 6 would be a vac suit.
fine. No, everyone get the vac suit. You don't have to pick.
Oh, okay.
There is a vac suit for every member of the crew in the ship's locker.
Got it. Okay. Um,
I
all
mean,
right.
there's a vac suit in there uh, for everyone, including Mel, were the
Yeah.
power armor to become non-functional.
Yeah. Okay. So then I think um yeah, I mean a lot of my stuff I think is not exactly for this sort of salvage operation.
I don't know. I thought I saw interface device.
Yeah, true. That was what I was thinking. I was trying to figure out between that and this. Yeah, I'll go with that.
And Teast, I think you've got 2 more of your 6 to select.
Okay.
For what's on the ship. And then Hawthorne, all you need to do is to pick which 3 you're going to take with you on this
Yeah.
little escapade on an asteroid.
Yeah, and for now it looks like it's all external, right? We can't tell what's, well, I guess there is the black box in there
There
somewhere.
is the black box in a hull. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So my gun is just to threaten people. He would never shoot it, so I won't bring that or his credentials. Okay. Um, all right. Maybe just these. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. It is just short of the hour. I'm going to suggest we take a pause until 5 past the hour and then come back and play to success or failure. Yeah? Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So we roll more one.
Rock. So we see the 4 of you heading across this rock towards this position from a position of advantage. Mel, I think, is probably taking the lead with assault rifle and power armor. And the rest of you are following on behind, carrying whatever gear you selected. I want to know, Mel, how you think you're going to approach this. You're the closest we have to a tactician.
Yeah. So Mel is going to tell the guys to hang back for 5 minutes, and she's going to take a position around to the side, and then see if she can take out whatever it was that was firing on us, but at the least distract the the thing that was firing on us, so that those 3 can sneak up on it. Or
okay.
One of them
well, Dr. Banner's spotting of that dead ground granted you all an advantage to play with. So unless Mel blows it badly, there's going to be some advantages floating around for a while. But let's begin with Mel heading off, telling us, there's some hand signals go on, that all that stuff goes on. And Mel, we see Mel, moving up to a point where she thinks she'll be able to see what's just over the horizon where this was. I don't think I'm going to make you roll for that. I think I'm going to just take you there looking at the clock. You can see a ship has landed on the rock. What fired at you was the ship's PDCs, close defense weapons. And it's attached to a ship about the size of yours. But you can see 4 people making their way from the ship to a wreck, maybe 50 or 100 paces from the landed ship. Yeah?
Yep.
Your tactical sense is that if you opened fire now, the risk would be that the ship would open fire on your position. Yeah? So comms come back to Hawthorne, Cage, and Dr. Banner. I'm looking at Dr. Banner's crack it move, because when you need to get in discreetly, say where and what you do. This will be a physical location. So given what Mel is communicating back from her position of Overwatch, Dr. Banner, how do you think you could get in? And at the same time, I think Hawthorne, I'm looking at your pretense move.
Yeah.
When you want to create the impression you're not who they think you are, or are who you want them to think you are, what do? And maybe trying to set up an opportunity for our scoundrel to exploit them. Yeah? So maybe that's the place to start, and then come back to Dr. Banner to think about the actual physical entry. Yeah? So Hawthorne, what are you
Yeah.
thinking?
Um, I'm thinking because or rather, Mel hasn't seen any obvious markings, right, for these folks.
Uh,
Uh,
we haven't asked that question yet.
mm,
Do you want them to? I think the phrase in the moves is investigate.
Yeah, I would like to do that because if they're related at all to the my sanitary worker, then I might be able to call on him, right?
Okay, so investigate. Roll plus sharp.
Sharp. Mhm. It's just spinning. Has that come up with a number for you guys?
Um,
8.
I'm seeing a 6 and a 2. Yeah,
Okay. My
yeah.
2 is just continuously spinning around, so I wasn't sure.
Did that for me too.
We'll give you the benefit of that too. What's your sharp?
Not -1, but that's good enough.
I think I can tell you what you on 7 plus. I provide the information. It may even ask you to respond or for what response interests you. I think I will tell you they are not RGA. They're not Ringate Authority.
Hmm.
So they're independents. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, 7 to 9, what you learn comes with a cost, such as an unknown adds tension to the scene. Potentially dangerous unknown is added to the scene. Danger. Ah, yes. I think, however, Mel, you recognize the ship
Hmm.
as the Whisper.
Hmm.
The Whisper sells itself as a trader, as maybe a bit of mercenary work. Um, but they're pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they are not good people. Now that may provide Hawthorne with a way in. I don't know. What are you thinking, Hawthorne?
I was thinking about, I mean, th they would know that their ship opened fire on us, right? Obviously.
Yep.
Um, I'm weighing whether I should pretend to be RGA somehow.
Okay.
Um, but that's not going to exactly make them not attack us. Um, I think I was
Well,
thinking,
just by the by, I am thinking if you could successfully convince them of that, you do have someone with a manipulate move, which could help them believe that
mm,
or build
um,
on that. And that might then open the way to Cage conceivably exploiting the situation.
right.
Just
So then,
saying.
yeah. So, yeah, I think maybe that's the way to go. Because I was thinking about pretending that we're backup or I'm backup for them from their same sort of pirate group, but doesn't really make sense. So, okay, so then you know what? I uh
I'm going
I
to put the
stay,
four of you back together so that
yeah.
we're in the similar location with that view that I described for Mel. But go ahead.
So over comms to my fellows here, my group, I say, I think I can distract them. Mel, you're gonna have to help me. It's not gonna
Okay.
work forever, but it might throw them off enough we can get past, or someone can get past. If this doesn't work, they'll shoot me first. So, all right?
I mean, it doesn't sound like a great idea. You're getting shot. So,
It's not a good idea,
Oh my God.
but I think it might be the only idea.
Okay.
okay.
So, all right. Mel, cover me just a little bit, all right?
Sure, but like staying hidden or coming with you?
Yeah, I think you should come with me. Does anyone have something that looks like a gun?
I mean, my gun.
Anybody else? Something long and let's see.
I've got I've got tools. I've got a multi-tool. I've got my engineering kit.
I mean, let me just stress here, it depends what you're going to pretend to be.
Mm-hmm.
If you're to pretend to be, someone senior in the RGA,
Right. Exactly. Okay.
you have a bodyguard in power armor, my friend.
That's true. Okay. So, all right. So then I say, yeah, never mind. All right. I would suggest you could do what you want. The other two of you just keep out of sight until it's necessary.
An opportunity appears.
So, all right. So I'm gonna click in on their, or I'm gonna try to get on their, I don't know, I guess, open channel.
Open channel, yeah, fine. And what do you say?
So this is Supervisor Reeves. I'm in RGA Special Task Force, and I'm here to talk to you about this find. I'm going to come out in the open. If you fire at me, then my support members here will fire on you.
Okay.
And then I'm
Okay.
going to start to scoot out using my MU. I'm not rocketing towards them,
No,
but I'm
you
going
just
to sort of jet out into the open to show them that my superior technology at the moment
okay.
here.
Okay. I think you are making it up in the moment.
Mhm.
So I think you are rolling with sincere. Can you sell it?
Let's see. Okay. Okay, so I got a 10.
Wow. Okay. On 7 Plus, they treat you as your disguise warrants, which may put you at advantage with respect to them. And there's no downside, no 7 to 9 downside. So there's a kind of slightly confused response. You hear a couple of back chatters. Who the fuck was that? Where, and then somebody, shut up, shut up. Did Brooke send you?
I say, correct. Well, we're in communication with Brooke. I need you to understand if you fire on us, we have a fast mover. It will come in, your ship will be gone, your people will be gone. So that's our dead man switch.
Um, Mel. Now,
Mhm.
technically, you should be face to face, but I'm going to stretch it a bit here. Um, how do you manipulate them to convince them? Because otherwise, we fall back on Hawthorne's convince. Um, you know, do you impose your presence here, Mel?
Yes, I'm absolutely imposing my presence. I'm puffing up like a peacock or something,
Yeah.
and and I've got the gun brandished, and maybe I've got my knife in my hand that's holding the barrel or something as well, and you know, um,
Okay.
and
Listen up, you
and
primitive fuckheads. Okay. So what do we hear on comms from Mel to just back up Hawthorne's successful pretense? And I think I am going to give you that advantage that Hawthorne started with.
yeah,
Yeah.
um, uh,
Because
I
it
don't,
says
yeah, I
when you agree with the GM how you want to change what they think of you and or how you want them to behave.
Yes. So I want them to be intimidated by us and think that, think that we are the RGA, and to do so is going to say, uh, uh, "Hey, boss, these guys don't look scary at all. I don't know what your problem was."
Let's have you roll with force with advantage. So 3 dice, take the
Oh,
top 2.
Sniper one in position.
and that's a +2, but 12.
Yeah. Well, that goes pretty well, doesn't it? On a 7 plus, it works, and you're at advantage to leverage your success with them. On 10 plus, you pick one. You can transfer the way they feel about you to a crew member they may not even have met yet. You
Oh,
can hold the advantage and treat it as a free spend later. Uh, so you can make them shit scared of any other member of the crew.
I mean, they have seen Hawthorne,
They
but
have.
I
They
would
haven't seen
like
the
to make
others.
Hawthorne the one that they are shit scared of.
Okay. Now the question is, Dr. Banner and Cage, it looks like Hawthorne and Mel have gone in here. Are you the rest of Hawthorne's team then?
I have a proposal if Cage is up for it.
Go for
I
it.
would be interested to
There's
hear
this
it.
crevice here, and the ship has crashed, and I see these underground little holes, and we have this nice drone, your scientific drone that you brought with you. I'm a
Yes.
scientist and have skill in this area. I just didn't bring mine. I think if we team up, we might be able to scoot this thing down there, find the box, and drag it back while they're doing this.
So while they're all distracted,
Maybe
take
even find a
take
pathway we can run over and get it. But
take advantage of the opportunity. I'd be down with that.
Okay, okay. So Hawthorne and Mel, are you heading down? Because the three guys who'd started to kind of scope out the ship, the four guys who started to scope out the ship, have stopped, and they're now looking in your direction and kind of checking in with the ship about whether they should do anything. The Whisper, and so attention is on you, yeah, as
Yeah.
you know make your way down to the ship and the Hulk. Meanwhile, Cage, kind of pops up the drone, and it's a science one, so it can manipulate and do stuff like that. So,
It's got collect. So
collect, yeah. Now, there may
manipulate,
be a
collect.
limit on the size that it can collect, but
sure.
By the way, in my attempt to sort of destabilize these guys we're talking to, I am literally just sort of hovering along as though, just above the surface with
just
my MU. Yeah.
Have you got a
Like
big long
like
black cape as well?
I was gonna say I'm not quite Baron Harkonnen, but I do want to see like
Intimidated.
I'm above it all and somehow
okay.
like alien almost.
And then there's a kind of
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
I want to be as distinct from her as possible.
Yeah. In space, no one can hear your power armor work, but we need some sound effect.
They can feel it.
I am subtly sort of maneuvering Hawthorne, like not physically, but so that we end up in like the shadow of the ship's guns. So
Oh
that,
yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
you
So
know,
if this
we're
goes
like
pear-shaped,
under the hull or something, and yeah.
Okay. So Cage, you have your drone, and Dr. Banner thinks he's got a route through. So let's have you pop up that drone and fly that drone. This is finesse to
Finesse.
pilot the drone, which is
So
not your necessarily strong point.
No, I have a 0 finesse, so let's go ahead and see what I can do.
Can I assist Cage at
Got a
all? Can
7.
Dr. Banner help?
Well, yeah. So what have you rolled? 7. That's
Yep.
7. So if Dr. Banner could, what is Banner going to be doing to help?
Using the sensors off the drone to try to guide him.
And pointing out, no, stay in the shadow of this. Yeah, I think
Right.
that's probably sharp, to be honest.
Okay.
So roll with sharp to aid your crew colleague.
Fair ones, right? 7.
8, 9.
Oh no,
Oh
sorry.
no, 7 in toto. Oh right, okay,
yeah.
7 in toto. So 7 plus. Their outcome improves by 1 step. So that goes from 7 to 9, Cage to 10 plus. So that's cool. And Dr. Banner on a 7 to 9, you suffer any cost attached to their original action. I think that you are, if this turns nasty, you're going to be the one who's exposed.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of trying to work, scanning stuff. Okay. Hawthorne and Mel, you're making your way to the ship, not the 4 guys near the crash site. Yeah. Yeah,
Yes,
because
it's
that would
like
put you in the shadow.
like trying to get in that
Yeah.
shadow, but like also
And
facing.
you will see that the outer door of the airlock is opening as you approach the ship. Cage, you've got the drone up and you're inside the Hulk. Yeah. Now, you're going to maneuver it around. You need to head to probably the bridge. Yeah. And you know that you're getting a little heads-up display, maybe, or a small screen. Don't know. Banner is keeping an eye out for whether anything changes down on in the parlay. And you're investigating. You want to find a black box, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's have you roll to investigate. Roll plus sharp, Page, using the drone.
I have a +1 sharp.
There you go. What's not to love?
Got a 6.
6. 6 on the dice plus 1 is 7.
Got 7.
On a 7 plus. You succeed. Did you provide a Yeah, I think that you navigate your way through the structure. And clearly this was a catastrophic impact. Yeah. And I think you will probably find some human remains, desiccated by vacuum. And you are heading up ship towards the drone, towards the bridge. But unfortunately, you can identify where the bridge is and you know how you got the drone in. But there is a bulkhead door between you and the bridge. Someone is going to have to get through that door, and manipulating it with the drone, it's not that kind of heavy duty. Somebody's going to have to crack that door. See what I did there, Dr. Banner?
Mm-hmm.
Saw that.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
have a route in that you can get to, but it's going to come down to Dr. Banner to get you through that door. Yeah, the drone has successfully pathfinded for you. Meanwhile, Hawthorne and Mel, you are approaching an open outer airlock door. What do you do?
So I'm
Over their comms, you can hear the guys saying, "So, boss, do we just what do we do? Just do we just wait on this, or do you want us to get into the ship?" And the guy says, "Yeah, get into the ship." Hawthorne.
I say, well, I guess we'll supervise. So I say, you men take point.
Okay, so Mel, this will put you out of the cover shadow of that PDC because you're now moving away from the pirate ship towards the wreck. Just so you know.
Yeah. With the but there's the people there, right?
Yeah. So as quickly as possible, you put yourself among these people and hope that they're not sacrificable.
Yes.
Page and Banner, you are inside the ship, maneuvering, past crushed bits of bulkhead and shattered areas of ship and debris and these desiccated bodies. It was a rapid and explosive decompression, I think I can tell you. But you're heading up ship. Hawthorne and Mel, you can see that these guys have found a manual airlock, so they're inserting a utility tool and they're starting to wind the airlock on the side of this ship open. Yeah. Cage and Banner, you can hear, clanging on the outside of the ship, and then the kind of vibrating through the ship because in space you can't hear anything, but you know what I mean. Hawthorne.
So I say, wait.
What do you mean, wait?
Oh, sorry.
I say, have you been alerted to the security measures
What security measures?
in the ship?
And the guy on the ship says, hang on, Brooks didn't mention security measures. He said it was a straight crack it and take it.
Well, Brooks doesn't really care about you, does he?
So what the fuck? And one of the guys, steps away from the airlock.
I say, good man.
Inside, Dr. Banner, Cage, you are, Cage, you're using the drone to help navigate your way through this. And you can see up ahead in what would have been the ceiling, the secure hatchway that would take you into the bridge. What do we see you doing, Dr. Banner?
I'm gonna taking all advantage of what I've seen through the drone. I'm gonna take full advantage and try to get in position where I will be quiet and able to crack that door.
Okay, so when you want to crack a physical location, you're going to roll plus shady. But I
Okay.
think the drone information does mean I'm going to give you advantage.
Okay.
Yeah. And maybe, maybe Cage is there with his utility tool to aid you if that's necessary. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Go for it, Dr. Banner. 3d6, take the top two.
I will take 6 and ask for aid.
Neither of the fours, you mean? Okay, so you take the 6, I get that. So that becomes an 8. On a 7+, you get in, you can pick one of these opportunities. You circumvent or control an aspect of the security system. The GM answers a question about the location, system, or data. You set something up that is triggered when you say so, or you get some other benefit as long as the GM agrees it's reasonable. And then we'll come to 7 to 9.
I would really like to help my two buddies sell what they just put out there
Okay.
and set up the idea that the internal systems, if they go near the door again or any other movement on the door is made, that an internal security system sound will go off.
Okay. I'm going to suggest that involves you sending Cage as our engineer off to rig that airlock. Seem like a good deal, Cage?
I can do that.
You can do that. I'm going to give our Crackit, I'm going to give you advantage to do that. So Banner, the door opens and you can see that, there is still some power, residual background power running from the bridge to the airlock where Cage is going to try and rig something. Yeah. So Cage goes off down there. You go into the bridge. Hawthorne and Mel, you're still outside the ship. These guys are nervous. They trust and they say, well, so what do we do?
I say, well, so I pull out my interface tool.
Mm-hmm.
I say, you're in luck. And then I proceed to approach this very slowly. So, I taking my sweet time, working with the tool, checking, plugging it into my suit, checking, switching comms to Mel, and talking about nothing basically. I think I'm nervous. So I tell her about my childhood for a little bit, and then and yeah, so I'm basically trying to just drag this out for as long as possible. Every once in a while, I comms over to these guys. I say any time now,
Yes.
gentlemen.
Okay, Cage,
Um.
I'll get on
Sorry.
this.
go on.
Mel is stoically completely ignoring everything that Hawthorne is saying. And she comes to attention, like, proper, I'm in the military attention, a step or so away from the person that we've been talking with.
Yeah.
I don't know
So
where the other two are or three
now
are.
they're all in a convenient group.
Oh, they are all in a convenient group. I'm very
Now
happy
that you've
about
stepped away, and Hawthorne, as you were talking away, you just see the little inset of the picture you're getting of Mel's face, and next to your icon it says mute. Um, uh, Paige, how do you want to rig this airlock? Because remember, you have a crew circuit, so you're in comms with one another. How do you want to rig this airlock to cause either a real or supposed danger when Hawthorne is ready to send some unknowing pirate through the door?
I'm going to say a supposed danger. How do I, well, I want to, I'm curious about using this multi-tool,
Yeah.
but so I want to use the multi-tool to rig it to alarm, some form of a warning,
Yeah.
whether it's real or not.
Okay. So
I want people to think that there's some sense of danger in this.
fine. Now, the way that gear works is you can stress it to get an advantage on a roll. So you can invest the multi-tool in this
Okay.
in order to, we see you having to wedge it in place maybe, so it's not available to you for a little while.
Okay.
To cause, to focus whatever power is left in the batteries on the bridge, to just put it into the light show inside the airlock. So when that door opens, all kinds of lights are going to go on, or there'll be a distraction of some description. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Let's have you make or break. This sounds like, I think you've had time to think about this, so I'll give you a choice. Cheap and nasty, quick and dirty, or thoughtful. Take your pick, sharp or force.
I'm going to go force.
I thought you might, hence the cost. Yeah. But investing the multi-tool in it gives you advantage. Roll 3 dice, take the top 2 and add force.
I got an 8.
Yeah, I take the 6 as well, I think. So that's 8 plus 2 is 10. This is as good as it gets. You succeed, gain advantage to exploit the change you've made, so they're going to be extremely distracted when something happens. Banner, I see you on the bridge trying to work out where the black box might be and how you get it out, yeah? What do we see you doing? Oh, you are muted.
I know we're supposed to be. So it's been a crash. I'm looking for where it is now. And so I'm trying to use everything I can to discern where did it end up.
Okay. I'm probably going to make this take the risk.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think is it dangerous? Has it been rigged? Is there something wrong with it? Who knows? So you need to remove this. You need to remove it carefully so that it retains its value. So I think what you've described is you're taking your time to work out how to come at this and trying to lever it out of wherever its housing is. Fine. Roll plus sharp.
And I do have an electronics tool if it comes to that.
You do. You could stress the tool, invest
like
the tool
that.
to get advantage. Go ahead.
Okay.
Roll with advantage.
I'll roll that.
So we see you kind of connecting some probes just to make sure that there's
Didn't help much. I still got a 7, but it didn't help much.
Wow. A 3 and 2 twos. Whew. So
Good
on
day.
a 7, 7 plus, describe how you achieved the success you sought. I think you've told us that. 7 to 9, the GM describes the cost of your success. Lights go on all over the bridge.
Oh no.
Hawthorne, Mel, outside, one of the guys sees, one of the ports at the bridge, the internal lights come on. And he says, shit, there's somebody in there. And the boss says, I don't give a fuck. Breach now. And they barge Hawthorne out of the way and, wind the switch, so the lock. So and then say, stand back. And
it's only set to alarm, right? Not to
only set to alarm. But I think it blows off. They've triggered the kind of emergency breach. What do you do, Mel?
It's at this point that I get close and personal. Take them out. And I'm not actually shooting them because I don't like. I'm close quarters, right? I'm using the butt of the rifle to smash their visors.
Well, can I just point out your powered armor is an attack.
Oh, okay.
You can attack using it. Up close, literally getting up close and personal. You can punch them out.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Bam, bam.
So take them out. This is force.
Mm-hmm.
Roll plus force as you get among them.
9 plus 2 is 11.
Okay, 7+, you apply impact as established on them, which is going to at least disadvantage them all. On 7 to 9, there's no cost. On 10+, you choose to either apply impact as established to another nearby target, but you're attacking a group of nameless guys.
Yes.
So you have this effect on the entire group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, you know, we see explosions of air as you tear their suits, smash their faceplates, and throw them, you know, away from the ship.
Off the
asteroid. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think we hit that one about, you know, significant violence.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then comms goes off. What the fuck's he doing? You know, and babble, babble, babble. Cage, you're still on the inside of that airlock. What, if anything, do you do? Oh, you are muted.
You're on mute.
I panic.
Close up. Oh, shit. I mean, you're perfectly doing nothing is a legitimate response.
Well, there's still, I mean, we still need to focus on getting this black box.
You do.
We need to focus on getting this black box. And so while all this shit is going on, I shift my attention to getting this black box, and you know, and working with the drone and with Dr. Banner on getting the black box.
Fine. Dr. Banner, you've got the box. You're out of the bridge, and you can see Cage kind of dragging himself along in this gravity-free environment back towards you. Mel, all hell broke loose. Your focus was on the targets. Hawthorne, you notice that the PDC on the top of the pirate ship is rotating in your direction.
Okay. Now, I know that Mel's in powered armor, but you know, it's space and stuff. Do I think I could use my MU to sort of grab her and scoot us basically like either out of the ship's sort of line of sight?
The
Or
best way to get out of line of sight
it's just
is
to pop in.
Is to get in the ship.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because this is ship weaponry. One hit from this will take you out.
Okay, so then I'm gonna sort of
But I am going to apply your wound of uncertainty. In the chaos, Hawthorne, you are uncertain. You know, we see you considering the MU. We see you looking at Mel, looking at the ship. There's a degree of paralysis in this moment. So I think this is take the risk at disadvantage. So you're going to roll 3 dice and take the bottom 2.
Got it.
To take the risk of getting into that ship. I don't think it's a problem for Mel.
Yeah. Okay, so hold on.
I tell you what, no, I'm going to use your daredevil move rather than take the risk.
Oh, that's true. Right. That makes sense. Okay.
Coordination. So we are rolling with finesse.
Okay. At a disadvantage.
Still at disadvantage.
Yeah.
3 dice, bottom 2.
Oh, so that's
ouch.
4 total.
Yeah. That wouldn't have been much difference, actually.
No, it wouldn't have. Even if it was with advantage, it would not have been great.
No. So that is a fail. You and anyone following your lead fail. Are disadvantaged, and the GM may describe an additional cost of your failure for you and anyone who followed your advice. Well, this is just you. Yeah. Mel, you've got into the airlock and you have a degree of cover. You look outside, you see Hawthorne in the moment paralyzed. And you can see that PDC zeroing. What do you do, Mel? How can you help Hawthorne, who has currently failed? Before I apply any particular cost.
Geez. So what Mel wants to do is just get in there and shoot whoever it is who has the weapon. Right?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a fair old 50 to 100 paces across there.
Yeah.
So that's not, that's not, This is about how you're going to save Hawthorne.
I guess I'm in the yeah, why not? I'm in power armor, right? And it's low grav, if almost no grav. I'm going to jump up on top of the ship where the PDC is.
Oh,
And
no,
I'm going
again,
to
the PDC is 50, 100
okay.
paces away.
Oh, all right.
That's you can't stop the fire. You need to save Hawthorne.
Okay. In which case, I'll just have to launch myself at him.
Throw him into the airlock.
Well, if I can manage that, then yeah. I mean, like I figure I've got this much more chance of surviving than he does.
You do. You do.
So yeah, throw him and again try and use a bit of reaction mass, I guess, to for me to fly, not predictably as I go along.
Finesse to fly, force to grab and throw.
Okay, so finesse to get to him, force to
No.
throw.
Which approach do you take?
Oh, I see. Oh, it will be force. I mean, that's what.
Grab, throw.
Yeah.
Follow. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Do your thing. Roll plus force.
I am rolling my thing. That was the same 2 dice. Anyway, 3, 4, 5, 6. So no.
No.
Mm.
So on a 6, you both suffer any cost attached to the original action.
This is my worst nightmare.
Which is PDCs begin to pepper the ground. We see them go.
Yes.
As they are, he's tracking them towards you. Dr. Banner, you are hearing this on comms. So are you, Cage. Is there anything you think you can do? I'm looking at Cage first, but maybe Dr. Banner has a plan. Dr. Banner, do you have a plan?
I have a plan.
Go for it.
Hey, boss, and I'm saying this on the open comms. That ship's going to blow. It's going to take out the whole asteroid. We got to get out of here.
Let's have you roll to convince or compel, shall we?
Oh, shit. All right.
When you want an NPC to cooperate, say what you want them to do and describe your approach. I think you just did. You are deceive or mislead or threaten or incite. Force or shady. What's your preference?
Shady's better than force for me.
Go for it.
I got a 7. Solid 7.
Solid 7. 7 plus. They either do what you want so long as it won't put them at risk of physical or emotional harm, or refuse and tell you why. The boss says, "Fuck, get over here as quick as you can. Yeah, you've got 30 seconds. If you're not on the ship, we're going." And we the audience will see their airlock is resealing, or maybe no, it stays open for a moment to give their survivor a chance to get there. And probably they're scurrying away from the PDC to get the systems going. We will see various lights go on, suggesting they're about to get their drive going. Hawthorne and Mel. Dr. Banner has distracted them for a moment because at some point someone's going to know no one's running for the airlock. So Hawthorne and Mel in the ship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Cage and Banner have the black box. Who's best placed to get you out of this ship in a hurry?
Meaning coming out maybe through the way they went in.
Yeah,
right?
but doing it more quickly. Paying perhaps less attention to the potential risks.
Well, the issue is I am here's a question. I didn't bring my stim pack, but I did bring the med kit.
Okay.
I'm wondering if I can basically, I almost like a stim pack, try to sort of give myself something like just adrenaline, something that will straighten me out.
Yeah.
And
yeah, you can absolutely do that. If you see there's a column called fix, I'm going to put a tick. You are going to use that med kit.
Okay.
And you can either stress or heal or stress to heal or refresh. Refresh would get rid of all your stress.
Mm-hmm.
Heal would get rid of one wound.
Well, the wound is my issue. So
It
yeah,
is.
that's the
So
one.
that's gone.
Okay. So
You're
yeah,
hyped up.
I'm using
Hyper.
this in a non-regulation manner to get myself
Of course
straightened
you
out.
are. Of course you are. Which means you
And
won't be at disadvantage when you roll with sincere to get them to follow you out in a
exactly.
hurry.
And so yeah, I mean, I've got the MU. I say I hook up a cable to my suit, and I say, um, hold on, everyone, and I'm gonna start rocketing out
Roll
through.
d6 plus stress. Plus sincere.
Okay, so 2d6. Ooh, look at that.
Well,
A
finally Hawthorne comes through.
13. Yep.
That unlikely hero. The dead L moves perfectly. 7+. Say what success looks like for you. I would suggest you get somewhere hard to reach.
Yep. So yeah,
With no cost to anyone.
that's right.
And I think, given that we are now at 10 to finish, I would like to cut to you enjoying the fruits of your successful contract. Because that contract for salvage was worth 2. It was illegal. That made it worth 3. It was also through a ring gate, which makes it worth 4. So you are now 1, 2, 3, 4. You are comfortably scraping by.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another 2. Oh, and you sell off the wealth you gained from the asteroid. So you fill the scraping by. The next time you make any money, you will be breaking even.
So in tears, I think, before we everything's settled, Hawthorne would sort of meekly kind of pound on Mel and yell at her to like, don't do that again. If
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah.
die, you leave me to die. I don't deserve it.
I don't leave anyone behind, Hawthorne. That's not how I work.
Nobody.
I'm gonna second that. I'm gonna second that. We don't leave anybody behind. That's bullshit.
I,
Not to
I,
mention the fact that somebody was firing on us, somebody was trying to take us out, and if somebody tries to take one of us out, they're trying to take all of us out, and I want to exact revenge. I want to know who these people are.
Ship's
Wow.
name is Whisper. We're gonna come find them.
We're gonna come find them.
I think that's an epilogue scene in itself. And it is clearly the demand that Netflix picks up the pilot and turns this into a series. Yeah. I think we can't beat that as an epilogue, so I think that's roll titles, roll credits.
yeah.
That was great, guys.
A special little magnetic mine that I want to place on their hull. I've just been saving it for a special occasion. It's like a rare bottle of wine,
Well, I think that the Whisper is now the next mission. Yeah. So if you blow it up now, you've blown the follow-up series.
We don't get the sequel.
Well,
this comes up in the writer's room, and some guy says, "No, you can't blow up the Whisper. They're the nemesis."
In true writer's room fashion, I would sabotage this effort, in secret, because you can't. Revenge is pointless. 2 graves and all that sort of thing.
Oh yeah. You see that this writer's room has a moral compass. My contribution to this is I could get to produce this, and you are not going to screw with the series option.
That's right.
Okay. A quick stars and wishes. Those who are familiar with this, a star is an opportunity to call out something you enjoyed or something another player did. A wish is what you might have wanted to see more of, or what you might want to see next. I'll kick off. I just want to offer all of you a star because these were really great characters. I really enjoyed the interactions, and you gave me plenty of room to kind of get the plot moving. So thank you for that. So, in the order I can see you, Tiest, any stars, any wishes?
Yeah. So Paul's unbelievable dice rolls were definitely a star of the whole session.
Yeah, I mean, Paul, I think you've probably earned two improvements,
Yeah.
but it seemed to kind of be an interference in the flow of play.
And then I really liked Eric's grifting, like when you were convincing them and stuff. I always find
Yeah.
that kind of conversation quite challenging because I it's not something I do, and I thought you did it very nicely. So maybe it is something you do. But the thing that really struck me actually, although we didn't in the pilot we didn't get to take advantage of
Yeah.
it, was Brad, your mention of the missing person, right, was just really juicy and would absolutely be, coming back in the season, right, when it happened. And of course, Alan, like you're amazing at improvising off the stuff that we've done and the terrible dice rolls as well. So awesome.
Yeah, there comes a point when there are too many 6 minuses to work with.
Yeah.
Eric, any stars, any wishes?
Yeah, I think it was great. I think the procedures in it really kind of make the struggling sort of financial difficulties and stuff. I think that's a really tough thing to pull off in a game without it just being like one track. So I think that was cool because it did make the like meteorite, the asteroid encounter like meaningful, right? It wasn't just sort of like we're doing this for fun or for XP, like feeling like, oh, we need that money, even as a one shot, that was felt tangible, which I thought was cool. And yeah, that was interesting. And yeah, I feel like everyone did great. I feel like Cage, basically being the savior of all of us in that scene was a lot of fun. And yeah, my only regret was I couldn't quite figure out how to get across how truly like crushed my character would have been by the fact that that all went so terribly wrong because of him. So but
Oh,
but yeah.
I think we got that.
Right. But yeah, and yeah, everybody's great. I think I don't think there was anything else about the stuff. I feel like this game seems like it has so much depth that like a one shot is tough to get it all the bits, but I think Alan, you did a great job. As with your other game that I played in, sort of trying to figure out how to scoot everyone through that stuff into what's fun. Or into the quickest version of it. So that was great.
Brad, any stars, any wishes?
Yeah, well, I think first of all, Alan, just how warm and welcoming you've been.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much a newbie at this. This is like my second game that I've ever actually done.
Whoa.
So I really
Well done.
appreciate the sense of inclusion and welcome. Um, a wish might be it's like, oh my God, this is so freaking complicated.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I couldn't follow along sometimes because it's like, wait a minute, are you am I
yeah.
supposed to be on a spreadsheet that I don't know, which, so there's so much to follow along with. I think it would take me a while to really wrap my head around this.
Well, all it takes, Brad, is joining a series.
I'm not sure if I'm up for that. I'm not, because this is a commitment. This is a huge commitment.
Well,
I'll think about it.
I'm glad you felt included. As it turns out, you're married to a friend, so you got special treatment. Other newbies who come to my games,
Hey,
they don't get any of that.
I will use that to my advantage anytime.
Give my best, Jose.
I will. I will.
Paul, any stars, any wishes?
Yeah, there's a moment where Mel's character has to puff up on a planet. It's an absurd moment, and I loved how quickly you just took it and said, "Yep, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna be the support, one lone guy standing here in powered armor, and I'm gonna sell it." And you did. You literally sold it in that moment. I was like, "Oh, I want to see more of this show. I want more participation in the show." And my wish would be to do more of this with y'all. I really enjoyed getting to play with y'all. And Alan, you're phenomenal. I'm a GM myself, and I really was impressed. Great work.
Thank you. Thank you. Right. So with that, I'm going to stop the recording. There we go.